but they'll start filling up those seats any moment now as these two sides make their way out. It's a nervous-looking Pirates and Celtic. They know what's at stake here this afternoon, and they expect a tough encounter. Pirates were possibly the better of the two teams when they met 5 weeks ago in the league, but a late goal from Lennox Bacela settled it in favour of the home side. Celtic winning by 1-0. Pirates, of course, beat Celtic in the first official game of the new season for both of these sides in the MTN8, also by a single goal. So revenge is one of the topics in the build-up. All of the talk, though, will be now consigned to history, and we will have the action underway any minute from now. Let's have a look at the two lineups for today's game. Bloemfontein Celtic with 4 changes from the team who were surprisingly beaten at home by Amatux in their last encounter. Tsitsi Mahoa and Dominic Isaacs return in defence. It's only a second start for Mduduzi and Nyanda out on the wing, and Gamildien is back into the side in place of Lerato Manzini. 2 changes for Pirates after their disappointing home draw with AmaZulu in their last encounter. Andile Jali back, he came on as a sub in that game, and Daine Klate takes the place of Dumiso Mabena, who is on the bench for today's game. The refereeing team will be led by Victor Gomez. It's a full FIFA panel on display here today, along with Sandile Dilikani and Peter Rabopara. And we also have Enoch Molefe, the 2 coaches, of course, Clinton Larson and Roger de Saar. Larson winning his first ever cup game in the first round, and Roger de Saar, of course, has been a cup winner in his career with Witsi, won the Nedbank Cup in 2010. And last year was in the final, losing to Orlando Pirates. There's confirmation then of the officials, and the local Enoch Molefe will act as the 4th official today. Man who was at the World Cup in 2010, Ian McLeod, is our match commissioner for today's game. Simba Marumo alongside me, the former Platinum Stars Cup winner himself. This competition certainly brings a little spring to his heart, and he'll be going through the 2 squads in a moment. We'll look out for the impact players in today's game, as well as all of the different tactical combinations that you can look forward to. So Simba, the stage is yours.
Well, in this TKO Cup, Punya Selesele will go out aiming to push the defending champions against the ropes, and Clinton Larson will put his hopes on his captain, Thabo Matlaba, to organize and marshal his defense, his 4-man defense, and make it watertight against a very dangerous Pirates attack. He'll have to work seamlessly with this man, Letladi Madubanya, to make sure that defensively they're really organized and that the midfielders are able to execute their defensive duties. Lennox Bacela found the net against the very same Buccaneers the last time these two met, that sank the Buccaneers ship. Well, the Buccaneers themselves will be delivering some knockout punches in this TKO Cup, and Roger de Saar will look to the ever-reliable Munib Josephs to organize his defense and make sure that he keeps his clean sheet and help, with Letono Masalesa as well to organize in the midfield, Siso Mieni to do all the creative work and make sure that somebody hits the canvas by the end of this 90 minutes, Mike Gleason.
There is the aforementioned Thabo Matlaba, captain today of Celtic. Andile Jali back in the side for Orlando Pirates, who, as you can see, are wearing the change strip today. They're in red shirts and black shorts, and Celtic in all white with green trim for today's game. Young Victor Gomez in charge of this encounter, and the whistle underway. These two teams have met 6 times before in this self-same competition. Pirates 3-1 ahead on matches 1 with 2 draws. And so in cup competition, the Buccaneers certainly have a head start. Celtic ended a rather poor run in all competitions of a knockout format when they beat Chippa United in the previous round last month. They had to come from behind to snatch a late victory down at the Philippi Stadium in Cape Town. That was their first cup win in 10 knockout matches. It contrasts with the great form that Pirates have had in cup competition. They, of course, winners of this competition last year. They were in the final against Kaizer Chiefs the year before. 2 MTN8 successes in the last 3 years. So a side who certainly know what it takes to get to the final of a knockout competition. Pretty settled lineup that both of these two coaches have played for most of the season so far, and Celtic are back to virtual full strength for today's encounter. And Roger de Sá has made it very clear that he's selected on the basis of form in training going into this game, and he too has just tweaked the side with Jali, of course, a welcomed return. And a little test there for Patrick Tinyem early on. Well, Ruzaigh Gamildien scored a few from long range with powerful drives, but had that gone in, it would have been something of a first for an attempted floated cross, hit more in hope than anything else, just to make sure the keeper was on his toes there.
Well, it seemed Patrick Tinyem had that covered. He has a relatively small frame, but seems to deal quite well with high balls.
Overall, in past meetings since the formation of the National Soccer League 1985, Pirates have won 33 times to just 11 for Celtic. That's a 3-to-1 ratio. There have been 16 draws in 60 past matches between these two sides, so the Buccaneers certainly have been dominant against Celtic, but we did mention at the start of this broadcast that they haven't won here in Bloemfontein in their last 6 encounters. And that'll be something that Celtic will draw some strength from. First attempt there from Bacela, no problem for Munib Josephs. Pitch has had a chance to recover a little bit with the rugby season now having been completed. It's always taken a bit of a battering as Celtic have shared this ground with the Cheetahs. Now that the rugby campaign has gone into hiatus, the grass has had a chance to recover a little bit. It looks a little bit better than it did 5 weeks ago when we were here for the league match between these two teams. Thabo Matlaba, most experienced of these Celtic players. John Ahua winning that challenge. Now Pungwayo. And another early touch for Munib Josephs in this game. Cautious start from both of these two sides as we expected. Bissouma up front will be the key man in attack for Orlando Pirates, and he's has had a little bit of a return to the old goal-scoring form, although they were disappointing in their last game against AmaZulu, the Buccaneers. Ahua. Madubanya in the middle now, gets a little touch in there, but possession is turned over. Myeni, early ball for Bissouma. He's nice and strong in that penalty area. Celtic quickly closing him down, but you can't afford to give him too much space on the edge of the penalty area. Myeni once more. Now the pace picks up. Onto the edge of the area, looking to try and thread it through.
Well, I think Myeni will be a constant danger in this Pirate side against the Celtics defense, and they really have to try and pin him down.
Tete. Good hustling there from Manyisa, making life difficult for young Nduduzi Nyanda. Tsitsi-Mahoa. Ahua for Celtic. And now back with Dominic Isaacs. Fine ball out wide to Lekay, or Gamildien rather. Lekay waiting in the middle. He's usually out wide on that left-hand side. Now Ahua. Madubanya. Celtic keeping possession. This will do their confidence the world of good. The early ball up front now. And handball in there, one fancies, from Bacela, right in front of the linesman too. Not too smart.
Well, he'll be hoping to really find something. And the duel between himself and Siyabonga Sangweni is going to really be interesting. I mean, Sia Sangweni, they call him Tsimbi, which means steel. I mean, we've known him for his steel all the way since the days of Arrows until now.
Chases on here for Besuma. He gets to the byline. The referee Gomes reckons the ball was out of play. No, he's given a corner. He thought about it for a while, had a look across at his linesman over on the far side. It seemed a pretty tight call here. Difficult to see there whether it had crossed the line before Besuma knocked it across. Good cover defense from Dominic Isaacs.
Well, it seemed like the whole circumference of the ball hadn't gone over, so it was a good guess to take that it wasn't an out ball.
So early set piece opportunity here for Orlando Pirates, and already they move the big man forward. Sangweni attacks us at the near post, but strong header away from Mzava. So Pirates will have a throw-in. Roy Mamutsa looking to get some distance on this. Be aiming for the frame of Besuma, who's already surrounded by 3 defenders. Isaacs tracks back. It was far too long from Mamutsa. Lots of power and strength in that throw. Matlaba clears. Awua battling with Sangweni. And, spectacularly done there by Myeni. Now Besuma. Myeni once more. Early ball for Klate. Besuma swivels and gets the shot in. Well, he means business, Collins Besuma. He's got 5 goals already for Orlando Pirates in this campaign, and he's taken his overall tally in the PSL to 70 in 123 starts. That's an incredible games to goal ratio. There's going to be a lot of injury concerns, one fancies, in this game, because these 2 sides will be giving all in this encounter. And there you got the sense that there would be few prisoners taken. Well, this could be trouble for Mamutsa. Now they need to get the stretcher on. This was the challenge with Bacela. He seems to have hurt his ankle. Was it the way he landed, you reckon, Simba?
Yeah, I think the way he landed, and these injuries sometimes can actually be quite serious.
It looks fairly innocuous as he fell, but you're right, sometimes those simple ones oftentimes turn out to be injuries that require quite a bit of time for recovery. Hopefully Mamutsa, from a Pirates perspective, can get back onto the park as quick as possible. Zava now over the top of Gamildien. Nyanda. Gamildien onto the edge of the area, looking to get the shot in. Madubanya was perhaps in his way, but showing the skill which is earning him a big reputation in the PSL. Certainly is a crafty player.
For a moment there I thought he's going to go down, and it would have been a great position for actually to take a free kick from.
There he is again, beaten this time by Sangweni. Clearance from the defender. John Awua has time to just settle things in the midfield. Isaacs. Well,
the Celtics showing us their intentions to actually go forward. As Clinton Lassen said, in the beginning of the game, before the start of the game, during his interview, that they're not going to sit back. It's their home game, and they want to take charge of this game.
Josephs with a chance to clear his lines. Celtic last in the semi-final of this competition back in 2008. Of course, Orlando Pirates perennial semi-finalists in this tournament. Well, Phumlani Msibi is right there on the side of the pitch, and he can update us on what's happening with Roy Mahamudza. Pums?
Well, he's gone. Commentary, Roy Mahamudza is not going to play any further part in this game. It's that Achilles tendon. You see him, how he fell and he hurt that ankle. He's not going to take any further part now. He's being, in fact, carried off, not even stretched off now. The field straight into the medical room where Williams is going to attend to him. So Orlando Pirates will be forced to make an early change here in defense.
Our man on the touchline, Phumlani Msibi, right here on SuperSport. The eyes and ears of our team are right on the edge of the playing surface, and we'll bring you all of the news as quickly as we can. Clinton Larson's getting a little bit animated on the bench as well. The challengers, Monique Josephs has gone down with a bit of a knock in the penalty area, and Celtic aren't happy about it. They feel perhaps there's a bit of time wasting here, because I think what's happening here, and I may be being a little bit cynical, but Monique Josephs has the experience to know that if he buys a bit of time now with an alleged injury, and I've got to be careful here because I don't want to say that he's faking this, but at the same time Roger de Saar can get the substitution ready so that the defence can be, the numbers can be back up to 11 with Mahamudza.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if that's why he's faking the injury, if he is faking it, it will be a smart move, because it's very dangerous to play without a centre half. And now that, you know, their captain, their usual captain is back, is now replacing Mahamudza, I'm sure Munip will be back up on his feet.
Well, it's years and years of experience, if indeed it is the case. Let's not judge Munib Josephs, but we can wink and nod and perhaps suggest that you learn that over the years at the top level of the game, and he's had his treatment, in inverted commas, back up ready to resume the fray, and Orlando Pirates are back to their full complement. Lekhwati on for Mahamudza.
Well, any great keeper knows that without your defense, you know, you'll be really exposed.
Now Besuma, Jali with a little pass for him. Jali was expecting the return. Mjeni's been dispossessed though by Tsitsi Mahoa. Gamildien, nice pass to Lekay. Up against Matlaba, who's got plenty of pace about him. He does well to clear, finds space for Jali. This is going to be a good cup tie, one senses. These two teams mean business. Manyisa, Klate, Pungwayo, now Sangweni will go up and clear back into the Celtic half. Space for Awua, but under pressure immediately from Manyisa. Cluttering challenge there from Lucky Lekhwati. He's introduced himself into the game with his usual force and strength. Nice touch from Jali. Manyisa, Besuma. Well, he got done for pace there. There was a very quick recovery from the young Malawian Mzava. He was very quick to cut down Besuma's space. In the end, a free kick against Besuma, but look how quickly that fullback got inside of Besuma and blocked the attempted shot. There was nice defending from a player who's new to the PSL.
Yeah, really solid stuff there from Zava. He really recovered well there, because Besuma was gone. I mean, he was just ready to pull the trigger there.
Now Pungwayo, Manyisa. Pirates will start the build-up again with an air of patience about them. Mjeni, that's the second time now he's given possession away over on that right-hand side. Awua back to goalkeeper Tinyem. Now he's got to be careful. He's a little eccentric sometimes, this Cameroonian. I think the Celtic fans always get a little bit nervous in those situations. So Lucky Lekwati hasn't seen much action since Roger de Saar arrived as coach. Gets a chance now in place of Mahamutsa. And if it is a serious Achilles injury, which they usually are, Simba, then it could be a fairly lengthy spell out for one of the stalwarts of this Orlando Pirates side. They'll certainly be very concerned about Mahamutsa.
Oh, they'll certainly be concerned, and you know, sometimes these injuries, as you were saying earlier on, when you jump or land awkwardly and so on, can really, you know, set you back badly and can become really serious injuries. And Achilles tendons, we know, and we look at Morgan Gold and others who have suffered from it, are really a problem.
Lennox Bacela needing treatment, and he will have to go off to the side of the pitch. Pirates, of course, have also lost a little bit of an advantage in the sense that that injury is enforced, or that injury is enforced a substitution, which means that if this game does go into extra time, potentially they've don't have an extra man to play with in terms of bringing on fresh legs. Tinyem punches that away. Here's Jali looking to get Klate going, and he might still make it. No.
Well, good idea, but I think the pace on the ball was a little bit too much for even Klate, who's quite a pacey winger, to be able to catch that.
He's one of two changes in the Pirates side from the draw with AmaZulu, who failed to score in their last game. Celtic lost here unexpectedly against the season surprise package, the Pretoria University Amataks, who've come into the PSL as if they'd been here for 5 or 6 seasons. Such has been the confidence about them, although they were knocked out fairly convincingly in the first round of this competition by neighbours Mamelodi Sundowns. They'll play again at the weekend, next weekend in the league. Both of these sides, of course, have got midweek fixtures. It's a busy period now, 3 games in 7 days for both Orlando Pirates and Bloem Celtic. They won't be too concerned just yet about the upcoming league fixtures, but Celtic have got a difficult trip away against Maritzburg in midweek and then home against AmaZulu here next Sunday. And Orlando Pirates in midweek on Wednesday night have a huge game against Mamelodi Sundowns at Loftus Versfeld. That is live and exclusive, by the way, on your World of Champions. And then home on Saturday against Free State Stars, who are also tricky opponents. So this is the start of a tough 7-day period for players and coaches. Zava to take the throw-in. Long one here to test the defence, out from Sangweni. Neither Mnyeni nor Sangweni deal with it competently, and Munib Josephs in the end does what he should have done with the initial ball. Matlaba trying the crossfield pass, found Mnyeni. Here goes Manyisa. You saw there with that pass the impact of this patchy field certainly doesn't flow as freely as some of the other venues, and Tete gets the header away ahead of his goalkeeper. Mahoa will clear. Lekwati, Manyisa. It's a hot afternoon, but these two teams are certainly playing. Masalesa now, just his 3rd game in the side since getting his debut in the first round of this competition against Black Leopards. His presence in the midfield allows Manyisa to push forward a little bit.
Well, one thing I've noted is the long throw-ins from both sides.
Well, that's a good weapon to have in your armory, of course. We've seen many great players over the years with those long throw-ins, and Pirates had a successful time when Gavin Lane used to float them in. Dominic Isaacs.
Well, he'll have his work cut out, closing down Besuma throughout the afternoon.
Now Myeni. Besuma. In from Pungwayo, away from Ntete, but Jali gets the free kick there, a handball. A little bit of disappointment for young Lyle Lekay. Very clear there, and right in front of the referee Gomes as well. So set piece opportunity here.
Well, the change in the handball rule has really created a lot more handball free kicks and penalties compared to before.
Manyisa looks to take it. Daine Klate perhaps. Klate goes for goal. Klate scores! That is magnificent. Daine Klate, he's done it before, but he shows he's still got that skill. It's a wonderful goal from a wonderful player. Daine Klate puts Pirates into the lead.
Well, initially I thought the wall is too close. I thought it might have not been 10 yards away from where the free kick was being taken. But what a classy goal from a classy player, Daine Klate, to put his side ahead. I mean, the dip on that ball was inch perfect. There was absolutely no chance for the goalkeeper to be able to get to that. What a goal.
Superb strike from Daine Klate. Look at the distance as well. Well, when he pulls those off, they really are something special, and that is a classy goal worthy of a cup quarter-final in a match of this importance. And now Orlando Pirates in the driving seat. They've got a vital away goal against the side that they battled to beat here in Bloemfontein over the years. Some wild challenges in there, Nyanda in particular. It'll fall here for Jali, and he's brought down by Mzava, and it's all getting a little tempestuous. Look at the Pirates bench getting off the ground, and Eric Tinkler having a word there, Roger Dessau as well. The referee's going to have to just put a lid on this before it goes too far. Jali brought down. Now he'll get some treatment. Referee quite rightly is first sorting out the treatment. Now he wants to call across the players he feels need talking to. Daine Klate is getting a little word, and then nice sporting gesture there with Mzava.
Well, I thought both of them were in the wrong. Jali gets fouled here by Mzava, and then Mzava unleashes a shot straight into Daine Klate's abdomen. If that clip could run a little bit longer, you'd see. And Daine Klate actually retaliated with a slap or something. I thought he could have been in more trouble than what he got away with.
Well, the referee perhaps prudently has decided not to take any action. It's the new rule, of course, which allows the referees to use discretion these days. It's very clearly now written into the rules that although retaliation is sometimes regarded as even a red card offence, if the referee feels that it's perhaps not prudent to take that sort of action at that stage of the game, maybe when the temper's boiling or the atmosphere is too fiery or it's not going to be conducive to a good football encounter. He's quite within his rights these days now to make a judgment call, and that's what Victor Gomez has done on that occasion. There's many times these days that people sit at home and say retaliation, that should be a red, but it's not the case anymore. It's not a mandatory red card offence. It's within the referee's discretion, and Victor Gomez has used that. Whether you agree with it or not, that's his call from his perspective on the park.
Well, I guess it's a good call. I mean, given the spirit of the game at the moment, beginning of the game, so really, you know, after such a beautiful goal from Daine Klate, it would spoil the mood.
And I think too, if you had a red card now and a whole flashing of yellow, and it would just inflame what could potentially be a bit of a fiery situation. It's certainly the tempers are beginning to boil. They haven't boiled over just yet, but the potential is there. Anyway, they kissed and made up, and all's well that ends well. Mieni back to Lechwati. Now Sangweni.
Well, despite their team being 1-0 down, the Celtics fans are really up in, you know, singing their lungs out on the far stand there, just spurring their guys on to get back into the game.
They were stunned into momentary silence after that goal was scored, but looks like they've recovered a little bit now. This is Gamildien, early ball over the top, but not early enough for Bacela, who'd set off on the run. He's got pace and wants to use it. 4 goals already for him so far this season. Lennox Bacela in attack. Got 9 in the last campaign. Pungwayo past Nyanda. Now Lechwati. Masalesa.
But one thing I've noticed is that the Pirates fullbacks have really been staying in position and not really going up too much.
Well, I suppose Mieni and Klate ahead of them, they're providing the width for the moment. Here comes Klate with Mzava. He wasn't going to attack that ball with the head. Showing some good skill now. Pungwayo, can he get this in early enough? A disappointing cross for those waiting in the middle. Through comes Manyisa. Oh, great defence again from Mzawa. This is a special fullback that Celtic have signed from Malawi on this right-hand side. He is so quick. We saw it with Bissouma earlier, and we saw it again there. It looked like Manyisa was away and setting himself up for a shot, and like a flash, look at Mzawa. Big clearance, corner kick it'll be.
Solid stuff from Mzawa. I thought Manyisa should have quickly put the ball down to be able to quickly place it into the net rather than waiting for it to get down on its own.
Chinyem will let that go, and we have a goal kick for the home side, who trail here by 1-0. Daine Klate's effort separating these two sides. If you've just come home from your Sunday lunch with Grandma, you will discover that the Buccaneers lead by 1-0, courtesy of tremendous free kick from Daine Klate, and you can see it again at halftime, I'm sure, with the highlights package.
Well, one good thing about the PSL this season is that we've really seen some really quality free kicks. The Rato Shabangu and so many others that have.
Mieni now. Pungwayo coming forward. Well, he goes for goal when perhaps a square ball to Jali might have been a better option. Jali certainly letting him have a bit of his opinion there as well. A second goal for Orlando Pirates now would certainly put them well ahead and give Celtic a massive task. It's far too long for Manyisa to chase. So it's noticeable how much Jali and Manyisa, how much more freedom Jali and Manyisa have to push forward and get themselves into attacking positions. Here's Jali once more with a good effort. It was only a few weeks ago, a press conference after one of the Pirates games, that Roger Dussau was talking about having Jali not go forward so much, just sit in his normal position and just in front of the back four and not leave any gaps. But perhaps Masalesa's huge frame there in front of the back four now affords the opportunity for the likes of Manyisa and Jali to push forward, and they do add an extra dimension to the attack. They've got pace and they can shoot.
Oh yeah, certainly. And personally, I find that the three of them are defensive midfielders, and in terms of creativity, you know, I find that this Pirates side lacks quite a bit of that. And you only find that Sfiso Mieni is the one that's left with the responsibility of creating space, eliminating players, and finding through passes for the likes of Besuma. If you look at the chemistry between Besuma and Sfiso Mieni, he's actually most of the supply comes from Mieni.
And I suppose Klate could foot a little bit into that category as well.
Absolutely, absolutely. But they need more.
Good dispossession there by Lekay, and he'll have the throw in as well. Celtic want to take it quickly with Tsitsi Mahoa over on that far side. Awua. Isaacs. Remember, Celtic were down to a goal from Chipper United in the previous round and came back to win by 2-1. Can they do it here against the Buccaneers? Big ask for them today. Gamildien looking to find Bacela. Interception from Lekwati. Well, he got the foot to it to cut the pass out. Now Klate. Jali. Good challenge on Klate. Masalesa beaten as well. Forward, Madubanya. It's a nice ball for Bacela. And Pungwayo with some good defending there.
Well, Bacela really showing the hunger to open the scoring for his side this afternoon. Just not finding the right final pass to be able to do something out of that of these attacks.
Long ball from Tinyem. Forward again from Gamildien, this time in search of Lekay, but the experience of Sangweni will just marshal that and see it safely through for a goal kick.
And on the other hand, the inexperience of Lekay showed there slightly where he should have taken off slightly earlier for him to be able to get to the end of that. As Gamildien went up, there was only one touch that he could pass him with, which would be behind the defense. And as a striker or as an attacker, you need to be able to read those kinds of moments, that it's a time to actually get behind the defense and get the ball behind the defenders. Very nicely done by the Celtics defenders.
Now a long one forward from Tinyem. Nyanda, Gamildien, and again he's looking for Bacela and doesn't find him. Klate. Support from Matlaba. Besuma in the middle, waits, and he'll be disappointed with that effort. Frustrating for a striker up front when the service doesn't come, you'll know about that.
Absolutely, and I think what I notice here with Pirates is that Bacela is so isolated, and it's something that we've been talking about a lot about this Pirates side, that they've got 3 defensive midfielders. Now, very little support is offered to Bacela in terms of bodies around him.
Gamildien, another ball in there, Sangweni. Now Mahoa, the crowd wanted into that penalty area. They're willing them on there, the Celtic fans all behind the Pirates goal.
Well, another thing worth mentioning is that a lot of times I see it in the PSL that when a ball is played long to a striker or a midfielder or whatever, players need to understand that you only have one touch. And also it can't be a soft touch where, you know, so you need to be making a run around the player that's going to be either flicking that ball or setting it back to somebody around him. But players will just stand far away from the guy who's supposed to receive the ball in the air. Like now, there's no one that was close to Bacela for him to be able to knock it down to him.
Mieni, Aua, still battling away, John Aua. Nyanda, and now Gamildien, and looking to find some penetration up front, but still battling to connect with either Bacela or with Klate. Mieni now, good running from Jali. Klate's waiting at the back post, is played short though to Bacela, 3 defenders around him. Still he keeps going, and Mieni might come away with it. Gamildien. Mahoa, he likes to push forward. Lots of experience as well. Now Bacela. Klate waits in the middle, does well to hold off the defender, but he's not making much progress. Support from Mahoa. Not a bad ball, but no one just tucked behind that Pirates defence. It's over the top of Nyanda. Former league champion, of course, with Supersport, Tsitsi Mahoa. When he first arrived at Celtic, he had a very serious injury after just a couple of weeks. And as a result, spent most of the season out. That was when Prince Hlehla got his opportunity at left back and actually went on and won a Bafana Cup. With Mahoa back into the side last season, and very much an integral part of the Celtic team. Pongwayo off the chest of Bacela to John Aua. Crowd have gone a bit quiet now. This is the time really where the Celtic fans must get behind their team if they're to get back into this game, and they would want to do so before half-time, just for that little psychological boost that would give them.
Absolutely, a lot of goals are scored in the last 5 minutes of the half, or the first 5 minutes of the second half. So this will be the time where Celtics and Pirates can actually be able to put something at the back of the net.
Matlaba, there's no real urgent need here for Orlando Pirates. Remember, it's a hot afternoon as well. Then the ball up front, looking for Manyisa to chase onto.
Perhaps the heat taking its toll on both teams, because they've both taken their foot completely off the pedal.
Mieni. Jali. Jali gets the return pass, and he looks to steer it into the back of the net. In fact, place it into that corner. Disappointingly for him, it's just wide of goal. Nice little build-up from the Buccaneers. In the end, just a couple of centimetres away from the target.
Yeah, it does really, really well here. Avoids a couple of tackles, finds space between very tight Celtics defenders, and just delicately places it at the corner, curling it beautifully. If this had been on target, Tinyam wouldn't have been able to get to it.
So still 1-0. Orlando Pirates lead. 5 minutes left in the first half of this Telkom Knockout quarter-final encounter. And back from Gamildien to his goalkeeper, who's got Bissouma bearing down at him, although at half pace. Sangweni and Madubanya battling. It's not often you see Sangweni taken out in the air, but I'll tell you what, I wouldn't like to go up against Madubanya in any circumstance, and he made a little statement there, did Letladi Madubanya, about his power and strength.
Oh, he's a big boy. Very well built, perfect midfielder.
Bissouma, Nyeni back in again. Clearance from Ntete. Lekay. Aua. Nyanda. Madubanya. First touch of his chest has let him down a bit there, and Masalesa comes away with this 20-year-old in the midfield, former Wits player. They let him go at the end of his contract at the end of last season, somewhat surprisingly. He went to Belgium on trial, didn't work out for him. Now in the colours of the Buccaneers.
Wasfisa Myeni toiling away there, trying to find a bit of space for himself. He almost went past Mzava, who's really been solid there at the back for Masoko Lara, and kept things tight. Saved 2 almost sure goals in the first half so far.
Aua. Nyanda. Aua gets the free kick. Goes against Oupa Manyisa. Gamildien now. Mahoa. Ntete. Dominic Isaacs. All that pressing from Pirates forces Celtic all the way back. Their goalkeeper now almost playing in a sweeping position. Well, Sangweni gets the flick back there. Madubanya, can he profit? They'll get the corner. Lechwati says Madubanya had the last touch, but that was a rare error from Sangweni. You don't see that often. Lechwati cleaned up. But it did come off Madubanya in the end. It came off his knee. So, corner kick here just before the half-time break. Set-piece opportunity for Celtic, which is played to Mzava. Now he curls it in to a back post. A lovely delivery. And the Pirates' defence was static there. Thabo and Tete failed to get a touch at the back post.
Well, it's a good movement here and a really great delivery. Munib Joseph said was nowhere to be found, but no one from Celtics able to get to the end of that. You know, as a striker in these kinds of positions and moments, you have to follow the ball. Even if you think that the defenders might actually get to that ball, you have to just follow it. If they miss it, you're there. But in this case, everyone thought it's going to be cleared, or the keeper is going to deal with it, and no one got to the end of that.
And the Pirates' defence looked pretty static there as well. Well, that'll give Celtic a little bit of heart as they head towards half-time. Clinton Larson, the coach, as he sets out his stall for the second half with his players in the change room at the break. Now we have free kick here for Bloem Celtic.
Well, I think in this half, you know, Pirates has really created much better chances, and they were rewarded with a beautiful goal. Celtics hasn't really troubled Munib Joseph, and yeah, they'll really try to make this last 3 minutes of stoppage time count and try and at least get into the second half with a 1-1 scoreline.
Chance at the back post for Madabanya, showing his strength again, climbing above Pungwayo. Now, what is the referee doing? They're telling Patrick Tinyam to pull up his socks? Surely not. Mahoa. Bacela. Back to goal. Gamildien waits. And he's forced away from the danger zone. Now Mahoa wants the corner. The goal kick's been given. Well, there was a moment of hope there for the home fans with Bacela holding up the ball quite well with his back to goal, but he was perhaps that split second too slow with laying it off back to Gamildien, who, when he wanted to fire the trigger, found himself surrounded by defenders. One minute to go. Throw in to Orlando Pirates. Pungwayo slowly making his way over here. It's as we've mentioned before, a hot afternoon in the Free State. This will be taxing on these players. Forward from Sangweni. Maybe a chance now, Simba, just for your reflections on this first half.
Well, Pirates has definitely been the more dominant side between the two teams. They've created better chances. They've spent much more time in the last third of Celtic's half. Even though, like we said, they've got too many defensive midfielders in their midfield, which makes them lack a bit of mobility and creativity. And Celtics, on the other hand, they've created some chances. They've looked good in parts, but nothing really, meaningful to trouble Munib Joseph. So Pirates, firmly in the driving seat at the moment.
And there on cue is the half-time whistle from Victor Gomez. Daine Klate with a magnificent goal to separate these two teams. A free kick curled into the back of the net on 23 minutes. Sees Orlando Pirates in the lead here as we head into the break. No real opportunities for Collins and Basuma. Looks a little frustrated. Gamildien has tried with the passes to carve an opening in the Pirates' defence, but the likes of Sangweni and Lekwati have been stout. Mutsa went off early with suspected Achilles tendon injury, and we wish him the best hope that that's not too serious and that he might be in action sooner rather than later. But confirmation then, Daine Klate's goal on 23 minutes separates these two sides. This cup tie is nicely poised. The Buccaneers have the lead, but there's plenty of action to come.
The voices of our super commentary team there, the super disc team. Listen, Maruma in English commentary, Mapale Muloy. It's of course, it's Munib Joseph's trying to throw a glove at me as he walks out for half-time. Mapale Muloy Zoma Masondo in his Zulu comment. Roller is full of fun and jokes now. There's frustrations there on the side of Orlando Pirates. The Achilles tendon injury of Roy Mahamuds. Yes, he's back on the bench. It's not as serious as they initially thought. That's the diagnosis that we're getting from their team now. There's frustrations again on the side of Celtic. Yes, Mzava does cross the halfway line. No decent crosses into the box. On the other side, Tsias Mahwa does the same thing. No decent delivery for Bacela perhaps to make those runs and knock them into the box then. That's where they're frustrated. But where is John Arua? Where is the Tlari Madubanyam in the midfield of Siwelele? I would want to be a fly on the wall then and hear what Clinton Larson is saying in the dressing room. It's half-time. Telkom Knockout. One team, one winner. It's the quarterfinals. Orlando Pirates lead by a goal to nil. Sipho Mlambo is standing by in our studios in Randburg with the half-time analysis.
It's happening again. The Premier Soccer League presents the Telkom Knockout. An exciting, spectacular showdown. One team, one winner. The Telkom Knockout. Telkom Knockout.
If you have to think about it, maybe it's not for you. Uncompromise. Red Heart Rum.
Say goodbye to oily skin for good. New Nivea for Men Multi-Effect Oil Control Face Wash and Gel Moisturizer provide long-lasting oil control. From the #1 in male skincare, Nivea for Men, what men want. For some, it's to prove a point.
It goes for the corner. Oh, that is brilliant. With a stroke of genius.
For others, an opportunity.
You can't hold it back.
A stepping stone to something greater.
How much would they love to win this game? Back into the game.
A door to a brighter future.
Unbelievable. And the pass was brilliant.
This is their chance to show that they belong among giants. The UEFA Europa League, the passage to greatness, only on your World of Champions.
It's a Swanetabe Fiafia. The deflated Easy Kotani gave to teach Amataxeles. University of Pretoria versus Mamelodi Sundowns. Evaya, Orlando, Darota and Sir Steve will meet each other when Ezimyama and Elna Koto go head-to-head as Nachbar. Orlando Pirates versus Free Say Stars. And Mr. Chewi's team prepares to tarnish Amazapra's good record. This is Kidose to my friend. Super Sport United versus Kaiser Chiefs. It's Super Team on Super Sport.
When the team you love wins the cup, you might have a party. But when the car you drive wins some big awards, like 2012 South African Car of the Year and 2012 North American Car of the Year, what do? Well, you could do a victory lap around the neighborhood, but you might want to go easy on the hooting. The award-winning Elantra from Hyundai. It's Hyundai like Sunday.
What a weekend of Telkom Knockout action on your World of Champions Super Sport this weekend. Already we've brought you 2 games yesterday. Today, a huge one as Pirates are 1-0 up at halftime against Bloemfontein Celtic, but it is by no means over, not even by a long way. 45 more minutes of action still to come. I've got here in the studio Mark Williams as well as Craig Rosley. Mark, 1-0 to Pirates.
Yeah, well,
you thought it would be a Celtic day.
No, it doesn't look like it, but yes, we talked about the goal. It wasn't a goal that they deserved. Actually, it was a handball, and I always say, we need to sort this thing out when the ball goes to hand. But anyhow, I'm not the referee. We'll leave it for another day, maybe on Monday night, extra time. But yeah, they got the goal. It's a good free kick from Daine Klate there. But for me, the problem is Celtic, when they go forward, the last third, they're losing the ball too quick, and it gives Pirates a 8.
Craig, what do you think of the first 45?
Well, there's a massive difference. Pirates are actually pressing Celtic down very quickly in their own half in their final third, which is forcing Celtic to knock the ball long. So they can't gain momentum or actually create anything. And they're actually doing the opposite. They're not putting enough pressure on Pirates, which is allowing them to play even the likes of Jarl and Oupa Manyisa to make the runs forward. Actually, the problem is that they're actually not clinical or patient enough in the final third, Pirates. However, Celtic do start slowly in their first couple of games in the first half. So we might see something, Mark, for your side come out in the second half.
Big moments to talk about. We're going to get through them as quickly as we can. Ruzaigh Gamildien off the pitch early on with an injury, suspected to be a possible Achilles ankle or Achilles tendon. What do you think, Mark Williams, of this?
Yeah, I mean, when he went up for the ball, you know, when he lodged down a little bit back, and you know, you can see there he's keeping the sort of the ankle of the back of his foot. But as he goes back there, and then you see that first one, the step there, the second one. So it could have been, you know, he can't get it straight, but I think it's a little bit painful there.
Right, we do hope it's not a very serious injury for the man, Roy Mahamudza, you know him, and a very solid, strong defender.
He's an actual fact. I was saying to Mark that I actually didn't believe that he was injured. You know, he might, he normally does silly things like this. You know, when I was there, you would do that. We'd say, tell him, stay on the pitch, don't bring out the stretcher, because you would create a scenario like it. But it looks like he has done some serious damage there.
Let's look at the goal. What a goal. Mark Williams is complaining about this one, saying no hand ball. That's what you judge it to be?
And there's it, I mean, you know, it's for me, it's just, the referee, look there. He's hitting the ball to the guy's hand, you know. I mean, his hand is not standing up, but you know, credit should be given here to Klate. For me, a little bit, I don't know, the keeper was he sleeping, but what a free kick.
What a brilliant free kick there from Daine Klate. What do you think of the handball?
Well, it's 6 to 1, half a dozen the other. No, he comes across. Obviously, you're balancing your body out by having your hands there. You know, so you know it's a question whether it's ball to hand, hand to ball with it. But just to come to Daine, I have been saying that I've done a couple of shows with you, Tom, where we Daine Klate. I was happy to see him in the starting lineup, and he's repaid his inclusion in the squad with a fantastic free kick. I don't think there was enough pace, maybe the mark, but the precision and the sort of accuracy of the free kick was stupendous. Was fantastic.
Looking at the next moment of action for Orlando Pirates as they continue to press forward. Andile Jali back from suspension. Are you feeling that difference for the Buccaneers today?
Yeah, well, I must say, you know, when he gets the ball, he's a little bit dangerous. But what I don't like about the Celtic defense, when they get they're leaving the man to keep the ball. I mean, look at them when they react, you know, and they give me opportunity. While they have from Colin Zuma, the keeper couldn't see that ball. Anyway, it was going to be a goal.
That is good football around the edge of the box there.
Yes, you know, and that's why I come back to the fact that Celtic are allowing too much space for the midfield of the Pirates. And we said before the start of the game that it would be a midfield battle. However, Jali and Oupa Manyisa are making fantastic little runs, unmarked, unchecked, into the 18-yard area of Celtic.
Bloem Celtic have had very much a quiet half in terms of things to enjoy attacking-wise, but Limbi Mzava's ball there was almost the answer.
What I talk about Mzava, I mean, that is a good crosser. You know, I think it caught even the goalkeeper Neep and all his defenders looking at the ball. I mean, look at that. That's a quality ball, you know. And unfortunately, it's just at the back.
Thabo Tete.
Yeah, Thabo, you know, all sleeping. Didn't expect the ball to come so good. But that's a finishing ball.
What a great ball. And Mzava has been a good defender all half long. 18 years of age from Malawi, already an international for his country. It's 0-0. After the break, the action will continue. Will Bloemfontein Celtic be able to come back into this one? There's plenty of time for them to do it, and plenty of options sitting on the bench for them with Augustine Leonard, Dijker, and the big man, Lerato Manzini. A thorn in the side potentially for Orlando Pirates. Stay with it.
I've never been to heaven. Whoa. But I'm pretty sure that's where you came from.
Whenever you savor a Castle Milk Stout,
Girl,
you've got... You could win a private unplugged concert by a top South African artist for you and 40 friends.
girl.
Buy a Castle Milk Stout and SMS the unique on-pack code. Castle Milk Stout. Savor the moment.
Swallows Football Club has been part of the community for 78 years now. Due to financial constraints, our club could not secure home ground in the community.
Soccer is the lifeblood of this community. So I spoke to a supplier who was a mate of mine, and he came to the party.
By providing us with this stadium, this wonderful stadium, SPAR is doing a very big thing for our community.
1, 2, 3, Swallows!
When I ran out on that field, it was one amazing feeling. I love my SPAR.
This November on Supersport, the Proteas pack their bags for an explosive series down under. The Boks try to end the season in style against Ireland, Scotland and England. The big names try not to trip up in the group stages of the Champions League. Summer gets into full swing at Sun City with Africa's Major. And Chelsea and United look to stay on top in England. In November, SA Tour to Australia, Castle Outgoing Tour, UEFA Champions League, Netbank Golf Challenge and the Barclays Premier League. HD and sport made for each other.
Now, you have the power. Get your hands on the multi-purpose might of the Skill high-pressure washer. Free when you buy any 4 performance-driven Yokohama tires, 15-inch or larger. Another amazing deal. from Tiger Wheel and Tire.
Talking about those days.
Chivas Regal presents 2 stories about real friendship.
Of what we got. There's no ceiling to this sky, as our ties will always shine.
Now showing at Chivas.com.
It's our time.
It's happening again. The Premier Soccer League presents the Telkom Knockout. An exciting, spectacular showdown. One team, one winner. The Telkom Knockout. Telkom Knockout.
Bloemfontein Celtic are back out on the park for the start of the second half of this Telkom Knockout quarter-final. Eager to get back into the game. They trail Orlando Pirates by a 1-0. A wonderful strike from Daine Klate separating these two sides. It has been a thrilling first half here at the Free State Stadium. We expect as much, if not more, action in the second half as the home side seek to get their way back into the game. They have furious support here from the fans who will be behind their own goal now for the second half. But for the moment, it's the Buccaneer fans who are in the jovial mood. Their side have half a foot in the semi-final of the Telkom Knockout, joining SuperSport United, Mamelodi Sundowns and Free State Stars, who already booked their places. Simba Marumo is alongside me as our expert analyst. Do you expect much of the same from both of these sides? Maybe a bit more attacking from Bloem Celtic?
Yeah, they would definitely expect a lot more taken from Bloemfontein Celtics, because they've got nothing to lose. It's this or you're out. Yeah, you either win or you're out, and they'll be hoping to at least get an equalizer and make sure that they keep things tight, because a 1-0 lead is, you can't really sit on it. So Pirates will also wanna attack. So Celtics needs to make sure that defensively they're organized and they give nothing away, while at the same time trying to get at least an equalizer. So we can look forward to a really exciting second half. The sun is no longer as hot as it was in the first half. They've had a little bit of a rest, so both teams should be coming out with guns blazing. So we can look really forward to a really interesting second half.
No changes here at half-time. Remember, Ruzaigh Gamildien went off very early in this game, replaced by Lucky Lekwati. So one substitute already used by Orlando Pirates, who do get the second half underway here at the Free State Stadium, looking to snap a run of 6 successive matches in Bloemfontein against Celtic without success, including defeat here 5 weeks ago in the league by a single goal. They have a goal this afternoon to Orlando Pirates, and perhaps shaded matters in that first half, certainly on the park and as far as the scoreline is concerned. Mahoe now, ball inside, and a little slip there really from Madubanya. Ball in for Gamildien, and a chance for Munib Josephs just to settle matters down. Just confirmation of the starting lineups scrolling at the bottom of your screen. Celtic coming into this game with 4 changes from the side that lost to Pretoria University in their last encounter, while Orlando Pirates made 2 changes from the team that drew with AmaZulu, including a return to the lineup for Andile Jali. Zava with Isaacs pushing forward, the young Malawian. Clearance there from Lekwati. Mahoe now. Okay, not expecting that pass. Daine Klate will pass this back to his goalkeeper. Clears up to Besuma, his first touch of the second half. Save, of course, for getting the second half underway. Here comes Mnyeni now. Tries to get past Mzava. Madubanya. Aua. That's a good ball. Now a chance on here for Celtic. They can lay this back here. Gamildien. No penalty. There was a claim there. The fans are certainly up on their feet, but the referee says play on. Chinyem. Thabo Matlaba having a bit of a go at the referee as well, but well, Bloem Celtic hoping for something there on the edge of the area. Certainly was a good goal-scoring opportunity.
Oh, absolutely, and you know, Celtics has really, so far, started really well. Mzava has put no foot wrong. I've been watching him quite closely. He's won everything. Even when after winning a ball, he's able to get the attack going, and that attack there was actually started from Mzava.
Now, a yellow card for Nyanda. And presumably that was for something that was said immediately following the penalty appeal. This was the chance, and certainly a legitimate looking claim there.
His hand did look, his arm did look like it was in a bit of an unnatural position, was outstretched, so Celtics will feel a bit hard done by them.
Well, the referee might have decided that because he was in a position where he was holding his body weight.
Absolutely, absolutely.
That might have mitigated against the penalty. But Celtic certainly feeling that they deserved the call there. Strong challenge from Masalesa. Madubanya, Mahoa, long ball forward from Monique Josephs. Up goes Ntete, Klate with a header. Gonna knock this forward at every possible opportunity to try and get those front men forward. And then the offside decision. Gamildien. Josephs. Isaacs. Klate. Chance in here. Second goal. It's a lovely one taken by Oupa Manyisa. And Orlando Pirates double the lead. 5 minutes into the second half. The defence caught, and Oupa Manyisa had time to turn and swivel and score and extend the lead here of the visiting side.
Well, a very delightful ball played in by Daine Klate. Well, Dominic Isaacs plays it right back to him. Oupa Manyisa sees a gap between the defenders, makes a beautiful run, met by a beautiful chip between the space between Dominic Isaacs and Mzava there, and Oupa Manyisa chests it and finishes it beautifully.
Great goal from Manyisa, and Orlando Pirates now must feel they're in with a very good chance of progressing through to the semi-finals of this competition and ending this hoodoo run down here in Bloemfontein. He's come up with a couple of vital goals in his time, or certainly last season, I should say, Manyisa. This is his first of the new campaign. He's 5th overall in his career. Scored in the semi-final of this competition last against Golden Arrows this time last year. That's a rash challenge there from Bacela. I think Josephs is making a bit of a meal of it too, but unnecessary from the Bloemfontein Celtic striker.
Well, as a striker, as a fellow striker or former, I can't really fault him, because anything that bubbles around in the box, you have to get to the end of it. Maybe the only thing that we can fault him on is that he should have gotten there earlier, but actually making that move and running for that ball, I think he did well. Unfortunately, he injured Monique Joseph in the process.
So Monique Joseph's a little bit of treatment there, more time gone, and Roger de Sá with a little bit of a smile on his face. Well, I'm not too sure whether Bacela didn't get away with grievous bodily harm on that occasion, but Joseph certainly did make it into a little bit of a theatre. He's back up. Game continues. Pirates lead by 2-0. Big ask now for Bloem Celtic. They're going to have to dig deep if they're to get back into this game. Do they have the armory, though, to win this one? Ntete. Nyanda. Isaacs. Bacela goes down. Penalty's been given. Just inside the penalty area.
Well, they'll feel justified that the earlier call was not granted, and this one, I can see other referees probably letting it go, but you know, Gomes decided this is a penalty, much to the delight of Bacela, because he's going to take it.
Now Monique Josephs is being yellow carded, and I think the referee is just getting into the whole theatre of the thing, which is perhaps wrong. His teammates are saying, listen, stay away from it. Let's just have a look at the legitimacy of this claim. Inside the penalty area, well, I've seen much less given for much more. He went down somewhat theatrically, Bacela. It was a clumsy challenge, it might be said, by Sangweni. You can make your mind up at home. I think it's safer. But Josephs gets a yellow card for going to talk to the referee about the incident when the referee was saying, stay away from me. And now Bacela sends him the wrong way, and suddenly it's game on again here.
Well, Bacela has been really enjoying playing against the Orlando Pirates. He scored the last time, he scored now. There's still a good 35 minutes to go for him to try and get second goal to equalize.
That's his second successful penalty of the season as well. His fifth goal in total. He scored from the spot in the losing league game against Chippa United. And now, all of a sudden, Orlando Pirates looking for all money as they were heading towards the semi-finals, will find themselves in a big battle now. Here comes Celtic again, looking for the equalizer, away from Lekwati. Aua. So they'll have to just settle down now, these two teams. The adrenaline is really flowing now. 2 goals in these first 10 minutes of the second half. Celtic are going to be bringing on Lerato Manzini as well. Corner's been given there. So Manzini is coming on, and Lakay is going off, and Clinton Larson is sending out a very clear message about what he wants to achieve now. This is a young striker with lots of province who's coming on to try and turn things around. But his first duties will be defensive ones. Corner kick out for the Buccaneers. In from Mnyeni. Back in from Manyisa. And Aua to Gamildien. 3 players around him very quickly. Forward comes Matlaba. He's going to try the long range shot. Left-footed screamer. And the 3rd goal for Orlando Pirates. They've restored the 2-goal lead. And we've now had 3 goals since half-time.
Well, this game really becoming more and more exciting as this second half, grows older and older. And Thabo Matlaba, wow, what a screamer of a shot. I thought Tinyam is going to deal with it, but somehow we have to have a second look at it. Maybe the curve on it or something must have put him wrong-footed. As we see Matlaba there was actually no deflection, nothing. It sailed right into the net. Tinyam left motionless on his goal line.
It's the first goal in 18 months for Thabo Matlaba. His 4th of his career, his first since he's joined Orlando Pirates. He last scored in April 2011 against Maritzburg. So Celtic suddenly thought they were back in the game. Are now 3-1 down against Orlando Pirates in this quarter-final clash. Their fans are silent, and those supporting the Buccaneers have found their voice, and now they're looking for number 4. Here's Ndiene, the save from Tinyam. The follow-up hits the crossbar. Whistle from Victor Gomes. Chance there to seal the game for Orlando Pirates.
Well, Pirates certainly stamping the authority in this game, and Celtics defensively looking quite, disjointed, and in 6s and 7s losing the balls very cheaply. Sfiso Myeni unleashing a left-footed strike, and Jali would probably feel like he should have done better here and put this in the back of the net.
There's always a little concern as well with Patrick Tinyam. He suffered broken skull, a cranial injury just on a season ago, and you can see there he got a knee in the back of the head from Collins Mbasuma, not on purpose, but with Tinyam he's already wears that head guard, of course, since he had that head injury, and always a little bit of concern when he suffers a blow like that. Nyanda is off. Mogorosi replaces him. Mogorosi dropped for Nyanda, and the Botswana international will come on the right wing to try and see if he can get Celtic back into the game. Second change by Clinton Larson as he seeks to try and get something out of this cup tie, and by something we mean 2 goals to at least take it to extra time. Besuma. Jali. Masalesa to Manyisa is looking for the return. Tinyam with the clearance.
Well, Pirates playing really well, finding each other with some ease and just easing through the Celtics defense.
Gamildien gets the touch. Thabo Matlaba to take the throw in. In the meantime, Roger de Sa's sending out instructions to his players. He wants them to hold a little bit more in the midfield, spend a bit more time on the ball. Down goes Jali, Awua catching him.
I thought there was going to be a booking there. The ball was gone far away. There was no intentions whatsoever of playing the ball. As you can see, I mean, he goes squarely for them, exactly, and gets away with it there in that case, Arua.
Had a good game today on Dili Jali on his return to the side. Now here's Klate. Well, I'll tell you, after 2 hours of goalless football last night at Mill Park with Wits and Free State Stars in their quarter-final clash, this is delightful cup game. In from Madubanya, looking for Manzini. Flag was up for offside.
Well, the linesman getting it spot on there, the offside decision.
They have chased there from the big man, Collins Bissouma. Don't know if he's even had a crack on goal in this game. But all around him, they've been scoring.
I must say, I've been impressed with the level of his fitness. He has been chasing and getting into positions and really making himself available for the midfield, and even from Munib Joseph's long goal kicks. He's been able to be available for those.
He's back in the Zambian squad as well, chosen for the team that will play Bafana Bafana later this month in the Nelson Mandela Challenge match at Soccer City. Was dropped for their recent Nations Cup qualifying expedition. He's a bit tired now, I think, Bissouma, and Tete got ahead of him fairly easily there. This is Klate. Now Jali. Klate again. Battling away with Dominic Isaacs. Now that's a foul against who? Yellow card for Isaacs. So free kick opportunity here for Orlando Pirates. This frustration really from Isaacs. Down he went. And there is the foul that the referee didn't like. Klate to take it. That sweet little left foot of his. Curls it towards goal. Big strong header away from Aua. Now Manzini looking to get Bacela away. Two defenders around him, Lekhwati and Pugwayo. He's got players in the middle, but he keeps going on his own, left-footed shots. Well, it's wide a goal. There were options.
Well, he certainly had other options. I thought Gamildien was in a good position to receive that ball. With the same left foot that he shot with, he should have just put it across to Gamildien. He would have had a much better chance.
Forward from Isaacs, Manzini. Celtic are putting on a good effort here to try and get back in the game. Long-range effort here, trying to test Munib Josephs. And Mogorosi, just on as a sub, is wide of goal. Bissouma battling away with Ntete, fell fairly hard there, Bissouma. Play on. Mahoa. This is Madubanya using his strength. Gets the advantage from referee Gomes. Brought down now. The referee says play on still. And now he's going to give the free kick. I think Matlaba is going to get a little talking to, if not a yellow card.
Well, good refereeing from Gomes. Apparently in Portuguese it's Gomes, it's not Gomes, so he's being very clear about that. Yeah, but very good refereeing. He saw that Celtics still had possession, he allowed play on. Celtics lost the ball, and then he judged the foul. Good refereeing, all around actually.
Now Bissouma, we went down fairly heavily here. He's perhaps having a little bit of a rest. And There might be a chance for Pirates to consider a substitution. In the meantime, Jackie Mochweka is coming on, and Letladi Madubanya goes off. Mochweka, of course, got the goal that won them a place in this quarter-final. The winner against Chippa United in the first round. He came on as a sub on that occasion. Can he conjure up something here again today? Now Gamildien keeps going. Referee was in his way there as he wanted to fire a shot in at goal. Nyeni looking to find Matlaba. Basuma slowly making his way back onto the pitch.
When Tete played that ball back to Tinyam, I was watching with interest to see how good his first touch is going to be, because he was under pressure. But he really, pulled off a really striker-like first touch.
First touch a little too strong there, but they still have it here. Gamildien onto the left foot, tries to go for goal. Good block from Sangweni. And away goes Oupa Manyisa to Collins Besuma. John Aua wins possession.
Celtics seem to be rushing just before, in front of goal. They're not finding their best options. They're just all shooting haphazardly and not really building a goal. Because at this stage of the game, when chips are down like this, you need to really keep a cool head. And right now, they seem to be hot-headed and just shooting everything that, as soon as they get a little bit of space, they just start shooting. And it's not going to pay dividends.
Offside again against Manzini. Orlando Pirates considering their third and final change. Looks like Dumisa Mabena will come on. We would presume for Besuma. There's the decision against Manzini. Or maybe Klo Sekholela. Oh, they can't bring on Sekholela. Yes, he can, of course. So Besuma is going to go off. This is the second change. Correction to my earlier assertion, this was the last one. This is the second change for Orlando Pirates. And Klo Sekholela will come on as well for the final 20 minutes. Daine Klate standing by to come on again. He has been told by referee he can come on, but he's still trying to get his boots in order. Now Isaacs providing cover for the goalkeeper. 20 minutes still. There's plenty of opportunity for Celtic to get back in this game. Bacela battling away with the strength of Sangweni there. There's a Pirates throw-in.
Oupa Manyisa is such a solid defender, and very, very smart defender too.
Isaacs. It's a good opportunity here for Mabena up front to maybe stake a claim for a bit more regular action in this Pirates lineup. He did start the game against Amazulu without any success, but he's got just under 20 minutes, and he can certainly send a message or two out to his coach about his potential.
Well, I think Dumisa is not the kind of striker that can play alone up front, so we'll see how he'll deal with that.
Chance here for Celtic. First touch from Manzini, and Mogorosi provides Pirates with an opportunity to clear. He has Mabena on his own. Chance for him to chase on. Now with Aua. Forward from Mahoa. Manzini gets a touch. That'll be a goal kick. So we're going to see a change now. The final one of the game, Klo Sekholela, is going to be coming on for Daine Klate, whose free kick got this goal fest underway. Have a look at this for a finish. What a magnificent strike. It came on 23 minutes. No chance for Patrick Tinium. Outstretched hand from the goalkeeper. He's done his work, Daine Klate. A wonderful goal. And Klo Sekholela, who played on loan here at Bloemfontein Celtic, gets an opportunity against his former club. Oupa to Isaacs. Pirates, since they lost in the 2011 final to Kaizer Chiefs, have won 5 successive games in this competition, all of them without needing a penalty shootout. This will be number 6 if they can hold on to this lead. Oupa. Gamildien, we'll see some running out wide from Zava. Didn't spot him. Still trying to orchestrate an opportunity here. Oupa beaten in the air. Clearance from Sekholela. Now Mabena. Foul on Klo Sekholela, and then the Pirates happy to take up the time that this will waste.
Well, Klo here getting on his bike and meeting Tsietsi Mahoa's hand in his face. Well, he'll be looking to inject a little bit of pace and energy into this game in the latter part of this game.
Now here is Masalesa, or Sekholela rather, with a chance, but being held off there by Thabo Matlaba. Nice build-up again from Orlando Pirates. Header away by Lekhwati. Andile Jali with possession. Slowing it down as per coach's instructions. Spreading it out to the wings, keeping possession, making Celtic come and chase the ball. That'll tire them out. Jali once more. Sekholela wanting it on this right-hand side. Jali's going to go on his own. That's a goal kick. Well, he suddenly saw the opening there, Jali, and off he went.
He just needed one more. In fact, if he had just pushed it forward a little bit with his right foot to leave Ntete on the ground, to be able to have a clear view of who else was in the box for a pass or even a shot.
Well, he was certainly going to go on his own there. Gamildien keeps going. Mogorosi. Now over the head of Manzini. Gamildien, he's missed a good chance. Momentary lapse there by Orlando Pirates in defence, not punished by Bloemfontein Celtic.
Well, in these kinds of cases, you don't need a lot of power. Just have to place the ball. The keeper makes a save, he makes a save. But the most important thing is to find target and to find a spot that you pick.
Little off balance, little hasty, and as a result, more than a little wide. There goes Klo Sekholela. Not far away from here in Botshabelo, where he scored that magnificent individual goal, coming from almost the halfway line through the Free State Stars defence. This is Celtic's goal scorer, Bacela. holders, Orlando Pirates, inching ever closer to a place in tomorrow's semi-final draw, lunchtime draw in Johannesburg. Corner kick. Taken short to Sekholela. Manyisa, he's got Sangweni at the back post. Mabena got clattered down there. Now Jali again. Mabena cleverly leaves it, and then a wild shot with Sangweni having set him up with a delightful little touch. Where have you ever seen a back heel from a defender in the opposing penalty area? Lovely work. Have a
Lovely work indeed. In fact, I think Mabena came from an offside position and he let the ball go for Sangweni, who delightfully just left the ball so nicely for Brazilian style for Mabena. Unfortunately, Mabena not finding the right finish to make that count.
It was all Brazilian until the final kick, and then I think it was a bit...
Came back to Africa.
Yeah, well, I'm trying to think of some rugby country. New Zealand.
All Blacks.
Now here's Mabena. Gamildien. Time's running out now for Bloem Celtic. Only the hardened supporters would believe they've still got a chance to salvage something from this game. Stranger things have happened in this great game, but they 2 goals down against a team of the strength of Orlando Pirates are really going to need something special, and Pirates are dominating the possession, keeping the ball and almost running it well, and now a chance to get their fourth, and Sekholela shows a bit too much with that first touch. Sometimes when he puts on those afterburners, Sekholela loses a bit of the quality in the footwork. Didn't get a corner out of it in the end.
Yeah, I could have definitely got more out of that, but unfortunately trusted too much in his pace. But he had met his match.
So he'll take it, will Sekholela, and Orlando Pirates have only bothered to get 3 up front for this. Sangweni, Myeni, and of course Mabena, who's leading the attack now, having come on for Besuma. Header away, came from Dominic Isaacs. Mochekwa clears. Myeni, Jali, play on. And Celtic can try and launch something here. Bacela. Mogorosi. Offside against Mabena. That's a tight call, I fancy.
Well, at first glance it looked as though he was on.
I thought he timed his run perfectly there.
Definitely. And those are the kinds of runs that Mabena, is good at. And hence I was saying earlier on that for him to play alone, he's not a typical target man who stays one place.
No, he's offside again, and again I'm not too sure whether he was actually offside. Matlaba clearing. Opportunity here, right, battling away Manzini and Matlaba. Still no profit for Celtic. Free kick's been given. It's against Masalesa. A little bit wild there. It's not what Roger Dussart was looking for in the final 10 minutes from his players. He wanted a calm, confident, almost dominant approach. Just keep possession. Don't get caught in these situations where there's suddenly some panicky defending. And now free kick opportunity with an excellent chance for Celtic. If they can get a goal here, we are on for a very dramatic final 7-8 minutes of this game. So Gamildien to take it through the wall, but a good save from Relive Josephs. Excellent save. Would have been very difficult for him.
Yeah, excellent save indeed. And even better that he parried it outside, because there were strikers actually attacking him in that situation, and he parried it towards and got a corner out of that.
Touched away.
Now there'll be trouble here.
Jali. Disappointing pass from him. A little bit tired now. Matlaba was looking desperately for another chance for a goal. First one in 18 months. He would have had a second possibly in the matter of 10-20 minutes. Mahoa, Sangweni away. Throw in Celtic. 6.5 minutes remain. Isaacs with the clearing header. Oupa. Josephs gets the game underway quickly. Mahoa. Isaacs. In search of Bacela, header away from Lekwati. So attacking opportunity again here for Bloemfontein Celtic. Mogorosi, cross in there, Manzini gets a flick on, he wasn't far away.
Very unlucky there from the young man. Got a good contact on that ball, guided it nicely to the corner. I don't think Munib Josephs would have been able to pull a save out of that one. Unfortunately, just going wide.
Good crowd here today, enthusiastically following this encounter. Now Isaac's in trouble. Montana's made a hash of this. He stripped Isaacs of the ball. He was in with a chance on goal, one-on-one with the goalkeeper, and he failed to bury it.
Very unfortunate there for Mabena. I think he tried to do a little bit too much. He should have just placed the ball and would have gotten something out of that.
It's almost embarrassing really for the youngster. There was a chance for him to seal up this game, get a goal for himself, all profiting from defensive error. And instead, it was the goalkeeper who rescued the situation for Bloemfontein Celtic. 4 minutes. Sekolela keeps going. Foul. Tete goes down. Right, let's have a look at that earlier effort. Chinyem, Isaacs, watch here now. Mabena keeps the pressure on. Now really, one-on-one with the goalkeeper there. But as you say, he was trying too much.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think the difficulty about the one-on-one chances is that most of the time at training, we never do the one-on-one. We never practice one-on-ones. And also the expectations from everybody that you should score that goal is so high that if you miss, it actually makes you look very bad, you know, but it's one of the most difficult chances to actually convert.
Three minutes. Forward by Sangweni. Inside from Mogorosi. Now Bacela. Chance here for Celtic, surely. Can't find the back of the net. Manzini denied. It was the pace and persistence of Bacela that set up that chance. Well, he hasn't made the impact that they had hoped for, Lerato Manzini.
Mogorosi does really well, and Bacela continues that good work. Unfortunately, if Manzini had let that ball go, Gamildien was all alone with a gaping goal to be able to finish that off. But unfortunately, the young man, I think he wasn't aware that there was someone else who was in a better position behind him.
Interesting, you might have just seen at the bottom of your screen Eric Tinkler and Roger Lasar. They tried to get Mabena's attention. He's studiously ignoring them, and then suddenly when he turned around, Tinkler just tapped his head and lifted his hand as if to say, listen, lift your spirits, get your head back in the game, don't worry about that bad miss. Nice coaching in a way, just telling the youngster, don't brood now on that missed chance. There's still time to play, get on with the game. Charge goal! Great goal! 1 minute left, and eventually Celtic have got one back, and now we might be on for a grandstand finish.
Well, beautiful header by Gamildien. Well guided, well put right at the corner, and a good delivery too that he met with a good header.
Well, is it too little too late from Bloemfontein Celtic, or will they still have time to get an equalizer and take this game into extra time? Lovely finish from Gamildien. He got ahead of the defence, he steered that with great aplomb into the back of the net.
Really great stuff there. Worthy of the celebration. I think he forgot that they're trailing and there's 1 minute to go.
So, have they got something left in the tank? Can Bloemfontein Celtic fight their way back from being 3-1 down with just 2 minutes remaining to make it level and take this game into extra time? They will have roughly from now 3.5 minutes to do so, and there's a yellow card here for Matlaba for time wasting. Free kick for Bloemfontein Celtic, and they are in a big hurry now to get forward. First minute of the 4 added on for stoppage time is up. Motshegwa, play on. Here comes Johnny. Now Orlando Pirates must try and keep possession. Sekolela, of course, even better than that would be a goal to restore that 2-goal lead. Johnny's header, though, is wide. And now they've got to get men back. Johnny stays down. Bloemfontein Celtic are furious with what they perceive as time wasting. Tinyem being told by the referee, you stay out of it. Well, the referee has got the stretcher on, and he'll add time on. He's signalling that to the opposing side. He's saying there'll be more time added on. So you can disregard that +4. It's going to certainly be +5, if not +6, by the time all of this time-wasting tactics have been employed.
This reminds me a little bit of the Africa Champions League. You see a lot of the stuff, you know, whoever is ahead will always try and steal a minute or two.
Well, Pirates have had more experience in African competition than Celtic, who've never played on the continent, so they might have learned a few tricks. Now the offside flag is up. 2.5 minutes of stoppage time played. We reckon maybe another 2.5 to go. Pirates with a long clearance. They want the ball away from their half. Sefolela will give chase, and Tinyem will look to get this back into play as quick as he can. It's with Ntete. Forward, route 1, Manzini. Gamildien. Zaba, cross inside. Mogorosi at the back post. I thought that was a defensive clearance, but it's a goal kick. How close was this? Mogorosi, not far away.
Well, if Mogorosi had tried to take it back where it comes from, I think he would have had a better chance at goal.
Forward by Arua. It's a poor pass.
Well, the one substitute that has really given them the dividends that they were looking for is Mogorosi on the side of Celtics. Oupa Manyisa has done well, but he could have definitely done better.
Mahoa. Clearance from Jani, who's cramping up now. Well, we've had the 4 minutes. And Victor Gomes is going to add a bit more on because he felt Jani was wasting a bit of time there when he was stretching off just a couple of minutes ago now. Mahoa. Mogorosi up against Jani. Ball inside Bacela. It's blocked. And the clearance from Masalesa, and you wonder if that's that. Pirates are moaning about the time now, but they've got no reason to moan because Jani was wasting time. Here's the cross in again. Touch away, chance for Arua. He must cue it. Yes, they've scored! They have scored! It's a dramatic finish. Bloemfontein Celtic have made it 3-3, and this game will go into extra time. What drama! It's cup football here.
Truly amazing, amazing stuff here at the Free State Stadium. Right at the death of what might have been the last kick of the game. We see here, this chance here, converted by Mogorosi. And Pirates and the whole of Orlando completely stunned by what's unfolding in front of our eyes here.
It's a magnificent goal. John Arua missed a brilliant chance. But wasn't that the most delightful goal from Joel Mogorosi? 3-3, 6 goals. The Pirates fans can't believe it.
Truly unbelievable stuff here. And normally in this kind of situation, you can see the way the Pirates players are all hitting the ground, and Monique Joseph's actually telling them to all get up. It's a psychological war now going into the extra time, because Celtics are going into this with their tails right up and their heads held right up above their shoulders, and Pirates will be really despondent going into the extra time, Mark Leeson.
Well, it's going to need a big job from the coaches to get the players G'd up. It's finished now, says Josephs. Let's go again. What a dramatic fight back by Clinton Larson's side. We will go into extra time here at the Free State Stadium, having had a dramatic finish. 5 minutes into stoppage time. Mogorosi with the equalizer. Bloem Celtic, who really should have been buried by Dumiso Mabena with about 6 or 7 minutes to go. It could have been 4-1 to Orlando Pirates. It's ended after 90 minutes, 3-3. And there is another half an hour plus the possibility of penalties ahead of us. The drama is not over yet.
Absolutely breathless stuff taking place at the Free State Stadium. 3-3 after 90 minutes of football. Mark Williams, as well as the assistant coach here from Orlando Pirates in days gone by, is sitting here with me. And guys, what a performance, what a game.
Tom, I had my car keys in my hand. I was about to leave the studio, but credit to Mark Williams. The fight was still on, and a fantastic comeback by Celtic. As we said, they do come stronger into the second half, and I said to Mark, the irony was that Pirates were leading 3-1, but Celtic were the better team in the second half.
It has been absolutely scintillating. This is how it all happened. Mark Williams had started out with Daine Klate's picture-perfect free kick.
And what a goal, I mean, what a free kick here. But you know what, this is Pirates came back here, scored the first one, and talked about Oupa Manyisa. This is the class that he's got. And
penalty awarded against Sangweni, and it's slotted away by Bacela. 3-1 to Orlando Pirates with that strike there from Matlaba, and the Buccaneers thought they were home and dry, but they weren't.
Well, fantastic. I mean, Gamildien for me has been man of the match so far for Bloemfontein Celtic. He's been the centre of everything that's been happening for them, and he's rounded up his performance in the first 90 minutes now with a fantastic header.
And then the last gasp. It's cleared off the line, but Mogorosi says, no way I can put that one in with a spectacular
finish. What a goal for Mogorosi. I think you will forget this, Thomas. It was just for me. I was on my toes. Craig, I saw he had his key in his car. I told him to sit down because this game is going to extra time.
And the big question now as we look at that Pirates bench and we look at the worried faces is Pirates have made all their changes.
All the changes, and Andile Jali is limping around the field. So a bit of concern now. I mean, we saw the coaches trying to
get treatment.
Everyone prepped up, but I don't know if they understood that they made their first change in the first half already. So a bit of concern there for Pirates, because Celtic at this point at the time looked very hungry for this. But
it was a forced change. I mean, we did see that it looked like an Achilles for Hamamut.
You can say that again. Yeah, Roy had to go out there, but bringing like you said, your old captain, like what, with all the experience. But Thomas, there's no time for experience. It's a one-off, like I said, and Bloemfontein Celtic are flying there. And look at the 12 men.
The momentum is now with Swelele Samasokolara. Is it momentum that will take them to victory in the extra time period? Can the Buccaneers lift themselves up from what surely is tremendous disappointment right now?
Yes, in the last 10-15 minutes, they just looked like they grew from strength to strength. They took the game to Pirates. They're full of running. Mogorosi, Gamildien, everyone. Mancini's all around. Bacela's running them, and Pirates just seem to be looking to see what's going to take place next. I think the danger is that they don't get too carried away with the situation, and then Pirates could catch them on the counter with Ruzaigh Gamildien taking the ball from him.
Mark Williams, you see the Pirates supporters doing that hand circular motion, which means Siabuya, we're coming back, we're coming.
I don't know if they're going to come back, because you know what, they could have closed the game down with Mabena. They had in the goalkeeper only 2 beats. Just remember it was 3-1 there. And when he's missed that opportunity, Gamildien came back. What a sort of equalizer, to put them back in the game. So for me, it's all Bloemfontein at this stage.
Big moment there. Makalanjalo, you see him there. The tears not flowing just yet for the man who supports Orlando Pirates in your screen there. But will they be tears of joy or tears of agony as he thinks back at a 3-1 advantage that has gone by the wayside? 3 language options available for you as we go to extra time in the commentary booth. Back to the Free State Stadium. It's 3-3. It's extra time. It's the Telkom Knockout semi-quarterfinal.
Bloemfontein Celtic have staged the most magnificent comeback in this cup tie. They have forced extra time with 2 late goals. 3-1 down with just minutes to play. Goals from Gamildien and Mogorosi deep in stoppage time mean that we will have another half hour of football and potentially more drama here at the Free State Stadium. Orlando Pirates and Bloem Celtic go into this extra time period seeking a place in the semi-final of the Telkom Knockout. Lennox Bacela and Thabo Matlaba with the coin toss. and it's Orlando Pirates who will defend the goal to the right-hand side and attack the end where Daine Klate scored that magnificent goal in the first half to launch what has been a 6-goal feast for the fans and for you at home watching live here on SuperSport. What a magnificent display of cup football we've had today.
Absolutely. In a cup game, you want to see goals, you want to see risks from both coaches where they really went all out. From the first minute, you know, this game has been free-flowing. Started off a little bit slow, but it really ended off in a bang, and we hope that the extra time will continue from where the second half left off.
No more changes can be made. Both coaches have exhausted their options off the bench. Andile Jali's look to be cramping. There'll be some players out there who are desperately tired. Bloem Celtic will have exploded with both emotive as well as physical energy, and whether there is still something left in their tanks remains to be seen. There are all sorts of permutations ahead of us here in the next 30 minutes, least of all, of course, the possibility of a penalty shootout should it be needed to settle this tie. Now Roger de Sá is in trouble with the referee, something he said, and I think Mr. Gomes has had enough now of the complaints off the bench, and a very clear little lecture there to the coach from the referee. He certainly did say something, Roger de Sá, after that decision.
He might have said it in Portuguese and Gomes heard him.
And understood. Forward by Sangweni. Shegwa, he's got to be careful not to get too overconfident now after that dramatic comeback. There's Pungwayo. Jali. Nyeni. Pungwayo gets past Mzava into the middle, be cleared away by Ntete. And now Mogorosi, the chase is on for Bacela. Opportunity here for Bloem Celtic. And there will be a goal kick.
Well, Bacela will be a bit disappointed with himself there. Thought he'll take it first time instead of taking with his chest, with Lekhwati breathing down his neck. I thought if he had just taken a shot first time around, at least get a save out of Munip.
Here's Myeni now, making a bit of space for himself. Claims for a penalty from the bench, nothing given by referee Gomes. Myeni didn't look that interested himself, but the bench certainly were up off and making the claim. Zava forward now. Bacela cuts inside, chance for the shot. Good block from Sangweni. It was a good strike. He made a bit of space for himself there. For all money, he looked to be on for another goal for Celtic, and Sangweni came to the rescue. Now Sekholela. Mabena, two relatively fresh sets of legs. Good work from Mabena, and he's got the corner. It's end-to-end stuff already. 3 minutes into extra time.
Well, very lovely turn there from Dumiso Mabena. He completely sold Ntete. Unfortunately, there wasn't enough support and on time for him to be able to set someone up for a goal.
Sekholela will take the set piece. Sangweni's in there, Masalesa as well, adding a bit of height. Myeni turns possession over. Gamildien now. Mogorosi. Trying to use his pace. Sekholela came back in there, but he has a chance. Manzini, Mogorosi's offside. It won't count.
Well, the finish was exquisite.
Let's see here. Clearly offside. There can be no debate about that. Great finish it was too. I think he turned away. You could almost sense that he knew that it was offside. He did celebrate, but he didn't celebrate as one would when you score the 4th goal, having been 3-1 down.
Absolutely.
Sekholela. Touch from Mabena. Pungwayo heads to the byline. Corner's been given. Referee looked across at his linesman. Well, we've had curling free kick, disputed penalty, dramatic last-minute goals. We've had a sitter with striker on goalkeeper missed. There's, I suppose, just a red and a yellow, a couple of yellows still missing in this game. Hopefully they'll stay away, but you can't complain about the action in this game. Now the referee with a little word there for the defenders and the attackers as they jostle there ahead of this corner. Tinyem will collect comfortably. Gamildien to Moshegwa, taken away by Myeni. He has a chance for Celtic now. Their team transformed over the last 10 minutes. Masalesa helping out in defence. Now Jali to Mabena. Jali again. Sekholela, and it was just taken off his head by Mzama, but wouldn't have counted anyway. He was offside.
Was a very nice pass from Jali, spotting Sekholela there. Well, on slow-mo, Sekholela was clearly on side. Well, he'll be a bit disappointed. I guess with Sekholela's speed, it's very difficult for him.
It often happens to him, unfortunately.
It looks like Tinyem has a bit of a blue eye there, or a bruise of sorts from Besuma's knee that hit him in the face.
Now Jali. What's the referee decided here? Free kick in favour of Orlando Pirates. Don't they wish they had Daine Klate on the field now? Well, Jali has a tired and battered body. Down he goes again. On comes the stretcher to take him off.
Well, I really hope his knee is okay. It seemed to twist quite badly.
Well, he looks to be in some pain, but of course, should he go off, there's no way they can replace him. They're going to have to play down to 10 men. Roger de Sá looks a worried man on that bench. Well, there's no stretcher yet. Now it's coming. Well, there's a lot of players around him with a fair amount of concern, which does suggest that this might be more serious than Pirates need at this stage. But if Jali can no longer continue and they're going to have to do a big patch-up job to get him back into the game, then Orlando Pirates are going to have to deal with 10 men, or have to play with 10 men for the rest of the game. Well, I think they're going to try and patch him up. Free kick now. Manyisa's there, and Mieni's there, and Manyisa just floats it, looking for Sangweni at that back post. They've done that routine once or twice before. Gamildien with the header. Mochegwa. Up front is Mogorosi. And Matlaba to clear. Andile Jali is up on his feet, limping and ready to resume. Forward goes Celtic. Bacela. Taken away by Pungwayo. Jali, on he comes, he's battling. I think he's going to limp through the rest of the game, Andile Jali. Manyisa. Matlaba. Now Sekholela. Matlaba once more. Looking for his second goal of the game, but denied by a good challenge from Tsitsi Mahoa. 20 minutes remain. He's really battling Andile Jali.
It was a really nasty twist, and I don't think that he'll come back, actually.
Well, he's playing for the team now. But just how effective he will be remains to be seen. If he can shrug it off, perhaps a couple of minutes without the ball, just light running, that might do the trick. Don't know the extent of it. And he's battling. Here he is. Pungwayo. Lovely touch from Mieni. He might have cracked it with the right. He tried to bring it back onto the left and allowed the defenders to clear.
Well, in the box, any chance you get to be able to put the shot away, you have to take it. One touch, boom, you are supposed to hit the ball right at that second touch should have been a shot we should have been celebrating now.
Well, he's got a corner out of it. Header away at the near post. And now Gamildien. Mogorosi. Last of Sekholela, Celtic throw-in.
You know, I see often a lot of players, when it's a counter like Gamildien, had an opportunity here where there was about 2 or 3, Pirates defenders. After that corner was taken, he should have just gone with all his pace to try and eliminate. Even if he loses that ball, everybody's behind the ball. There won't be danger for Celtics. But over and over, you see that a lot of that in the PSL.
I think in his defence, he might point out he's been playing for 102 minutes.
So is the defender.
Now Aua. Here's Mahoa. Floats it in. Mogorosi attacks it. And last touch comes off Orlando Pirates. So Celtic keep the pressure up. They're attacking the goal behind which all of their supporters are amassed, and they are cheering them now. It's been a dramatic recovery here from Bloem Celtic. Chance again. Jackie Mochegwa with the effort that's a little hasty in its execution. Sangweni with a clearing header. Here's Vanzini battling. Jali seems to be able to contribute a bit more now.
Well, it's good to see Jali back on his feet and still limping a little bit, but at least able to do something for the club.
Pungwayo, we are heading to half-time here in this extra time period. Motshegwa up to Bacela, nice defending again from Sangweni. A little too strong for Sekholela though, and they take it away. Gamildien, Bacela, Mogorosi. Mahoa, nice touch from Manzini, but then he slips unfortunately. Masalesa will play it wide here. Pungwayo. Yeni looking to get behind the defence. It's going to be Celtic's ball. Free kick against the Yeni. So 15 minutes gone here. We are in stoppage time at the end of the first half of extra time. These two sides to switch over. And I think the referee is signalling while we're watching the slow-mo that he's going to add another 2 minutes. I think when Jali went off on the stretcher is the reason for that. Just adds to the agony of these tired players out there. They're really giving their all in this game. And it's not over yet. Now the first half comes to a close and the two sides will switch over. Somewhat reluctantly, they will walk slowly and look to just get as much recovery time as they possibly can, even if it's just a minute or two extra. Thabo Matlaba, the captain here. Tsitsi Mahoa and John Aua. Tebogo Malloy, Roger Nassar and Eric Tinkler, who with 10 minutes to go, Simba would have thought, well, this one's in the bag. And look at where they are now. Not on the bus heading home, but deeply involved in extra time.
Absolutely, you know, this game can go anywhere right now. I mean, if you look at Pirates with Jali's injury, they're sort of playing with 10.5 men right now. And sometimes it takes a bit of experience for a Jali with carrying a knock like this to still be effective. Just run to where you are needed, and as a defensive midfielder, you can just be at the right positions to just keep the defensive lines intact.
Referee decided to play on there with Manzini going down. So under quarter of an hour before we head to penalties, which was the case last night. Wits and Free State Stars, they failed to score. Here we've had 6 goals. Free State Stars winning 4-3 on penalties. Orlando Pirates, the defending champions, of course, in this competition, suddenly, well, in severe threat of having their successful run in this competition over the last 2 years come to an end. So Tinium to take it. He'll play it short here to Ntete. Now a bit of pressure on the goalkeeper by Mabena. He's got some quick pace about him, Dumiso Mabena. A little flick on there from Manzini. Sangweni clears. Manzini, brought down by Lucky Lekhwati. And away goes Bacela up against Pungwayo, unable to get the square pass.
Well, whatever happens in this game, I mean, Celtics has really dug deep and found enough to be able to get back into this game when I think all of us had ruled them off.
And I think that'll be used as an example in many similar situations going forward. People will say, it doesn't matter if you're 3-1 down with just 2 or 3 minutes left. Remember what Celtic did against Orlando Pirates. It'll become a little bit of a reference point.
Absolutely. I mean, you can never say die. You have to keep going. And in fact, even earlier when I was saying that Gamildien had one man to beat and he should have kept going. Even when you're tired, that's when the reserve tank needs to kick in. Because the defender is also just as tired. So really well done to Celtics. And, you know, they'll be hoping to keep the pressure on for the rest of the half.
Well, here's Zama with the free kick, floated in. Thabo Matlaba was pushing forward there. Mochegwa unable to control it. And Myeni has possession here for Orlando Pirates. Can someone get a 4th goal here and seal up this game? Or are we going to go to penalties? All will be revealed in the next 12 minutes. Munib Joseph will deliver the long ball forward for Sekholela and for Mabena, far too strong. Gamildien looking for Manzini, header away by Lekhwati. Pungwayo, Masalesa, 2 former Wits players who worked under Roger Lassalle. This is a 3rd one now, Sifiso Myeni. Mabena, Gamildien, that's asking far too much of Lennox Bacela.
Well, the other form of his player is Munib Josephs.
A little bit of an old boys reunion of late. 20 minutes gone now in the extra time period. Gamildien is suffering from cramp. And the referee will now require the stretcher to come on and take him off. And Nandile Jali also, the referee wants the stretcher on for him too. Tired bodies out on this park now. It looks like a battlefield out there. This is how it looks like a battlefield. You can see one stretcher going the one way and the other going the other. Gamildien and Jali. This is about the 3rd or 4th time now Jali's been stretchered off in this game. Well, Clinton Larson will be delighted with the way his team fought back. I'm not sure he'll be 100% delighted with their performance defensively at times in this game. And Roger Lassalle will be shaking his head for some while to come. They had it in the bag, Orlando Pirates. Jali and Gamildien both back onto the field. So those little stretcher opportunities are a welcome break.
A quick pit stop.
Absolutely. It's about the same time as a wheel change in Formula 1 as well. No sooner are they off than they're back on again. Now Bacela, his fitness has been amazing because he's been running from the first minute. He's a pacey player, still chasing. number of short sprints he must have made in this game. It must be 30-40 by now.
You see who doesn't cheat at training.
Sekholela. Corner's been given. Set piece opportunity now. This is Sangweni territory perhaps. And he too suffering from a bit of cramp, or is that Gamildien again who needs the assistance of the trainer? As he made that stretch there, he would have again pulled a hamstring or just tightened the muscle. That is sore. Get the ice on. Here comes the corner in the meantime. Mogorosi wins the throw-in, and Celtic make a bit of ground down on that right-hand side. This is the scorer of the 6th goal in today's titanic tussle. Well, this has really sparked the quarter-final weekend to life, as we expected it would. Game between Celtic and Pirates, always producing high-quality drama, particularly down here in Bloemfontein with the support of the home crowd. They're exhausted as well, the fans singing and dancing behind the back of Tinyem's goal. Now Mogorosi. Good work from Manyisa to steer him away from the ball. Now Aoupa, Manzini, Aoupa again. His first touch is always going to be a little bit on the shaky side. But making a valiant effort there, John Aoupa, to get into a goal-scoring position. 6 minutes. So the very real possibility of penalties. These two sides have been in a penalty shootout in this competition before. Pirates winning 4-2. Off Dominic Isaacs. Corner will be taken by Sekholela. Sangweni's gone forward, the Khwati's gone forward, and Masa Lesa is in there as well as Mabena. Little flick up from Mabena, that's into the side netting. Just for a moment there, I thought that was number 7.
A very good effort from Dumisa Mabena. Good delivery, but unfortunately not. The touch being a little bit too heavy. Needed a bit of a delicate touch to find target there. But good effort nonetheless.
Nice idea, as you said. Less than 5 minutes. Semi-final place. Who's going to take it? Celtic or Pirates? They have delivered a wonderful cup tie here this afternoon. Understandably, the tempo has dropped a little bit here. These tired players out on the park, but, well, given the way it finished at the end of the 90 minutes, don't bet on another goal here in the closing stages. Well, he's as passionate as ever, Munib Josephs. Clearance from Dominic Isaacs. Now Mabena. Maybe a chance here for Masalesa, who hasn't scored a goal in his career to date, but came very close there. Tinyem with a good save. And he's now cramping up.
Well, Masalesa does really well here. Thought he's going to look for a pass, but drives a really good curler to the top corner, which Tinyem just gets a hand to.
Good save from the goalkeeper.
He wasn't going to be beaten twice from a similar effort.
And immediately when he fell, the calf muscle tightened up. Again, they get the ice on the hamstring. That number of players who are cramping is understandable at this late stage of the game. So Tinyem still receiving treatment. Celtic supporters singing and chanting, time ebbing away. And there's not much you can do but just try and stretch those muscles. Bobby Solomon's Clinton Larson, the brains trust here at Bloemfontein Celtic. I think they're making the list for the penalties. Pensive faces in the crowd here. Mieni, back post chance. That was more of a defensive clearance from Sangweni than anything else, but it'll come back in again. Tinyem collects and down he goes. Yellow card against Lekhwati there, although it was almost like a bull charge from Tinyem.
Looked almost like a scrum.
Flick on from Mogorosi. Chase is on here by Manzini. There was a momentary lapse of concentration from Sangweni. Now Gamildien straight into the hands of Munib Josephson. He's battling with cramp. There's a confirmation of the yellow for Lucky Lekhwati. They've picked up a couple of needless yellows in this game. Matlaba got one for time wasting, and Lekhwati now. Munib Joseph's also disputing the penalty. Now Sekholela, and it bounces awkwardly there for Tinyem. 2.5 minutes of stoppage time remain. It looks as if they're all settling now for penalties. They're too exhausted to carry on. This is like a boxing match where they've been slugging away for 15 rounds and they've had enough now, waiting for the bell. So these two sides are going to take their chances in the penalty shootout. No one's interested here in taking the ball off Tinyem. Tinyem is just keeping possession and no one wants to play with him. And he's saying to Ntete, Tinyem, now suddenly Sekholela wants to come and play, but
well, going to the penalties actually might be a disadvantage for Celtics.
Yes, Munib Joseph's under a bit of pressure, but look at Gamildien, they're trying to come in, he can barely run now with a cramp.
So as I was saying earlier, that Tinyam actually has a cramp, and going into penalties for him to be able to take off.
Sekholela now, punched away by Tinyam. Bacela with a foul. Has it been given Pungwayo's way? This was the earlier effort that Tinyam saved. Now, surely this is the last foray forward. Manzini, he's got a fresh set of legs. Gamildien, Manzini once more. Mogorosi. Sangweni. Mogorosi again. Moshegwa, a little indecisive in what they want to do with this ball. Celtic, it's all the way back to Mahoa. Referee's had a look at his watch. And it looks as if Celtic want to just settle with the penalties. The defenders, now Isaacs will play it forward, and now the final whistle will go, and we will go to penalties. So it's ended in a 3-3 tie, and it's going to be resolved in the lottery of the shootout.
Well, we are about to roll the dice to see who the winner is going to be. And like I said, Tinyam seemed to be struggling with some sort of a cramp or some injury of sorts. I don't know if that will play a part in the ability for him to be able to spring off the ground, to be able to make those crucial saves. Well, that will live to, to tell the tale.
Well, they're going to have to need to patch him up here, Tinyam. His goalkeeper coach Andre Broncos gone across there to help him. He's going to limp, will Tinyam, to join the rest of his teammates. Clinton Larson's now finding out who wants to take penalties. And Orlando Pirates, their two coaches stay on the bench, making the list, while the players get some sustenance and some water. And I think at the moment the Pirates players are all reflecting on how did they find themselves in this situation. They were 3-1 up with just a couple of minutes left, and now they go to a penalty shootout. Now a chance to have a look at all 6 of the goals in this game before we go to the shootout. It started with Daine Klate in the 23rd minute, a spectacular free kick that set the tone for the drama that was to come. 2-0 with this wonderful effort from Manyisa. It came just after half-time in the 51st minute. Then the penalty converted by Bacela just 4 minutes later. But you had barely blinked before Matlaba made it 3-1, and then suddenly a dramatic finish. Gamildien followed by Mogorosi. 6 goals for this crowd this afternoon in Bloemfontein, and a worthy drama of a cup quarter-final. And you know what, Simba? It's not over yet.
Oh, far from it. And the tension all around the stadium, I mean, it's really, you can almost hear it. So it's so loud. And both sets of supporters will be wondering, sitting there, who is going to be going through to the semi-finals.
Well, you get to hear from the coach if you're going to take a kick or not. I presume you get asked these days as well whether you feel up to the task. Bobby Solomon's there with some final words of advice, and Jimmy Augusti, the chairman, who's probably lived 1,000 lives in this cup tie already, onto the pitch as well to just give his players some encouragement. Not often you see the chairman come on to give his share of the opinion, but well, Jimmy Augusti can't help himself. He is so passionate about this game. So Munib Joseph's a chance to be a hero here, getting the encouragement of his teammates. And of course Patrick Tinyam, who they're still trying to patch up at the moment, trying to get that Bloemfontein Celtic goalkeeper ready for the penalty shootout. So Roger de Sá making his lists, encouraging the players. And there is Patrick Tinyam and the patch-up team. There's a bit of oil and presume a bit of deep heat or something similar. Don't know if they use that stuff these days in the muscles. Tsitsi Maho looks a little bemused by it all.
Well, Tinyam looks to be in some discomfort.
And this is where the medical team earn their money, of course. The Telkom Knockout trophy won't be handed over here today, but in early December, of course. But it's tantalizingly there for everyone to see. And Orlando Pirates held the old trophy aloft at the beginning or at the end of last year. Roger de Sá was on the losing side. But here he wants something more from his players in these closing stages. He wants solid, strong shooting. If we can read lips or make a judgment call on his body movement there and his body language, I should say. Clinton Larson now decides he's going to come and have a little chat as well with his players just before we go into the shootout, and I'll tell you who's going to join them, Jimmy Augusti as well. Can't keep the chairman away. So the toss, this is important, of course, who wins it and who gets to kick first and second. I'm not sure what happened there. Enoch Molefe is making all the money today, but all of that will be revealed shortly. Daine Klate, Patrick Pungwayo. Klate will not be involved in the shootout, of course. He's been substituted. But he looks feisty, Pungwayo. So we're about to get the penalties underway. Referee slowly making his way to the penalty spot. And Munib Joseph's in the centre circle, getting last bit of advice from the Pirates goalkeeper coach. And then away goes Patrick Tinyam as well to join up. The two goalkeepers are being called across now by the referee for final instructions. He'll give that usual speech simmer about staying on the line, don't encroach. If you do and you save it, I'll make you reface the penalty. Here's the instructions. Good luck, gentlemen, says Victor Gomes.
I think that law is so unfair for the goalkeepers because it's really difficult to stay on the line, and sometimes you find that some penalty takers will come to the ball sprinting and then stop, and that's allowed. And so sometimes it's a little bit, you know, keepers get a bit of a raw deal when it comes to some of these laws.
Now Munib's asking there, if I keep the 1 foot on the line, can I go forward with the other foot? I'm making a presumption here, but I think that's what he's asking.
Looked like it.
Don't see the answer. Yes, I'm keeping the 1 foot on. The referee doesn't seem to. He seems to be chatting with maybe with the officials on the microphone. So the first kick will be for Bloem Celtic, and it'll be for Lennox Bacela, who is the designated penalty taker for Celtic and who has already converted one in today's game. In fact, 2 in League and Cup competition already this season, so he'll be a confident starter for Celtic. And this is the way you usually see it these days. It used to be you always saved your best kicker for the 5th one, but over the years it's changed, and the conventional wisdom these days is get your best man to take the first kick and get this game underway. That's that new Katlego ball, which will be used at the African Nations Cup finals, of course, in January and February. Now Joseph's, you don't know if this is a bit of gamesmanship or not. He's just asking about something about is it on the penalty spot in the right position, or so the tension mounts, and it's not helped by the fact that the referee is taking his time about setting everything up. So Bacela up against Munib Josephs. The first kick in this penalty shootout. Bloem Celtic and Orlando Pirates head-to-head in the lottery of the kicks, and it's Celtic who take the lead.
Well, he's such a reliable penalty taker, Lennox Bacela, for Clinton Larsen. He's done it over and over and over, and you know, he's so confident. He steps up without, you know, he doesn't even make you feel tense as he steps up to the thing. He's so fully in charge of these penalty. Beautiful penalty.
You wonder if the fact that the penalties are being taken where the Celtic fans are amassed over on the right-hand side as we look out from the main stand is a help or a hindrance for the home team. The pressure is certainly on all of their players, and they'll look at the sea of green every time they take a kick, knowing they don't want to let all those spectators down. Andile Jali is the first penalty taker for Orlando Pirates. He barely made it across to the penalty spots, taken him a good couple of good minute and a half to walk there with the limp and the afflictions that he suffered from in this game, and he'll be asked once more just to dig deep and to deliver a final kick here. And the loud boos will resound in his ear as well, and that will either intimidate him or spur him on. If you know Jali, it's likely to spur him on. He sends Tinyam the wrong way. He shows the crowd what he thinks of it all. And 1-1 is the scoreline.
Well, Jali is such a confident penalty taker as well. He's got a really good technique of taking a penalty. He looks up all the way, commits the keeper to the one side, and just puts the ball to the other side. You can see as he takes that ball, he's looking up. He's not looking down at the ball. Great technique.
And he can take his tired and sore body away now and know that his job is done as far as this game is concerned. Now a big responsibility for this youngster, Lerato Manzini, new to top flight football. It's made a good impact. So he's never been in this situation before, Manzini. Just 3 games last season, 6 in this campaign, and up against Munib Josephs, and well, he looks like a consummate veteran.
Well taken penalty there by the young man Lerato Manzini. No chance for the goalkeeper. Good height, good pace on the ball. Good penalty. Either must go higher than the middle or up below the middle. So good height. Even if Munib gets the right way, would have been a difficult save to make.
Tense times for Andre Bronkhorst, for Boobie Solomons and for Clinton Larsen, the coaching trio at Bloem Celtic. And here is Oupa Manyisa. Tinyam has dispensed with the rugby head guard. So let's see what Manyisa can do against Tinyam. Saved! Out he came, and the save he made, and now the advantage is with Celtic. They are creeping closer to the most dramatic comeback we have seen in a very long time.
Well, Oupa Manyisa seemed to be well in control of the situation, but unfortunately he played the ball too low. If you're gonna choose the middle, you have to go high, because the keeper is gonna choose one of the two sides, but he should have hit it higher than that. He would have been able to find the back of the net.
So Tinyam with a potentially vital stop. Now Jackie Motshegwa, who came on as a substitute, helped in that dramatic finish. He scored the winning goal in the first round against Chippa United, also coming on as a substitute. And Munib Josephs with a bit of gamesmanship now, and the referee is going to have to take a bit of charge here. Watch what Victor Gomez does. This is going to be very interesting. This adds to the tension on the kicker as well. But remember, Munib Josephs has been booked already. So he could pick up a red card, and we've seen that once before in South African football, a red card for the goalkeeper during a penalty shootout. Motshekwa, great penalty.
Well, very good penalty from Motshekwa there. Right power, right direction, and low on the ground. Very difficult for the goalkeeper to save it if it's that low. Very good penalty.
Josephs went the right way, just couldn't get a hand to it. Trying to use all of the experience that he's got to unsettle the kicker. Now it's a pensive-looking Siyabonga Sangweni, and he's been forced to go all the way to fetch the ball on the line from Patrick Tinyem. Sangweni, Tinyem. Let's see what the big man can do. He must score here to keep them in this race, and he sticks it into the top corner. Didn't strike him with all that much power, but it was accurate, and it went in. 3-2 is the score. The advantage still. This is what happened just before they took the kick. Tinyem just left the ball on the line, and look at what Sangweni did there.
And Tinyem almost saved that.
Well, he would have had the last laugh. He got a
exactly.
hand up. Pretty similar to the way Kennedy Mwini made the vital stop last night. Now, Joel Mogorosi. This is a vital kick now. This will restore a 2-goal lead in the shootout for Celtic. Not much of a walk up here. Mogorosi in the top corner. 4 out of 4. And Pirates must score now to stay in. If they miss this one, then Celtic are through. 100% so far from the home team.
Well, a really brilliant penalty. I mean, right at the top corner. Absolutely no chance for any goalkeeper in the world to save that. Beautiful penalty from Joe Mogorosi.
Well, he came up with the vital late equalizer, and now he puts the penalty away. Patrick Pungwayo is kicker number 4 for Orlando Pirates. If he fails to score now, Bloem Celtic win. It's as simple as that. The crowd behind the goal are certainly making life difficult for him as well. Lots of pressure on this youngster. New signing, of course, from Wits in his first season. It's a pensive look on his face. It's going to be a left footer, and Tinyem is beaten. 4-3 now. Just that one save from Oupa Manyisa's effort. He's a feisty character, Pungwayo, and he's saying to Monique Josephs, come on, it's you now. You need to make the save to keep us in this game. Dominique Isaacs will take the 5th and final kick, potentially, for Bloem Celtic. If he scores, the home side are into the semi-finals. The crowd behind are going dilly. The pressure on Dominique Isaacs to score his first ever goal in professional football after 231 games just 2 weeks ago is huge. He needs to deliver, he's done, and what a dramatic comeback. It's completed here with success in the penalty shootout. It has been a long time since we have seen a game of this nature. Bloem Celtic win a place in the semi-finals by knocking out the holders of the Telkom Knockout. Chairman Jimmy Augusti celebrates what has been one of the best cup matches we've seen in a long time.
Well, really unbelievable scenes here at the Free State Stadium. I mean, we had all ruled out Masoko Lara, Punya Selesele, Banabo Shebile. Somehow, found the strength to be able to get back into this game, go all the way to the penalty, and Dominic Isaacs sinking the Titanic with that kick there that Munib Josephs couldn't do anything about. Unfortunately for the Buccaneers, they led all the way, and unfortunately losing it right at the end, and to be sunk by a really great performance from Celtics.
This is the reaction. They're watching. It's in the back, and there they go. Celtic into the semi-final of the Telkom Knockout. Augusti, he's going to do a hamstring strain. Magnificent scenes here at the Free State Stadium. And Celtic, well, we have had some afternoon in the Free State capital. Who would have thought it? It should have been 4-1 with about 6 or 7 minutes to go. It's ended in a Celtic victory in one of the best comebacks, certainly of the last 10-20 years, and it's understandable if the Pirates fans can't believe it. They are going to enjoy their night here in Bloemfontein. It's going to be a long and lonely trip home for Orlando Pirates. They are out of the Telkom Knockout. Now we want to find out who the man of the match is. We want to confirm the final score for you. Celtic winning on penalties by 5-3 after this dramatic 3-all draw. It's been a great day of entertainment.
It's been a fantastic day of entertainment. Mark Gleason, Harai Pumaruma, Zama Masondo and Mapali Muloy. Thank you so much, gentlemen. Telkom Knockout, one team, one winner. The man of the match is Gamildien, is standing here. Now Sibongile Liu, operational manager from Telkom, is going to give him the check of 5,000 Rand, a BlackBerry Curve cellular telephone. Gamildien, you told me you're tired, your legs are gone.
We fought out there, we did it for our fans, and we knew playing against Pirates is going to be another tough game. So the coaches told us, give us your all, and hopefully you'll be rewarded at the end of the day.
Things weren't looking good though at 3-1. Things were not looking good for you guys.
That's correct, but the support from the bench and the coach and everybody in the crowd, they were all behind us. So that was like our 13th man, and yeah, I'm speechless.
You're speechless. You want to go and celebrate. Let me release you. Well done.
Thank you, Bumlani.
Yeah, there he goes to celebrate with his teammates and all the Siwelele fans behind the goal post. Head coach of Bloemfontein Celtic joins me now. He's Clinton Larson. Clinton, thank you so much for your time. Your thoughts about the game?
Just what we expected, Pumlani. A very difficult game against quality opposition. I'm proud of the boys because of the comeback. We didn't drop our heads right until the 90th minute, and that shows character. So for all those doubters who don't believe in the team, I'm happy that they proved a lot of people wrong.
Let's talk about this. It's very interesting for me because you had said before the game began that you wanted more crosses from your wingers. In the first 45, it never really happened. As soon as Mutsegwa came in and Mogorosi on the right-hand side, that started to happen, and you put Pirates under so much pressure.
Yeah, I think especially when Joel came in, he's a natural winger. With Mduduzi and Nyanda, he likes to come inside. So Joel gave us that outlet wide out, and it made the difference. Jackie Mochekwa also came in and stabilized the middle of the park. So very happy with the substitutes as well.
You will be happy with that, but I'm sure you'll be also happy with the tremendous character displayed by your whole team.
Yes, it started at the back with Dominic Isaacs and our captain Thabo Matlaba. I thought they were fantastic, and it rubbed off on the rest of the players, and like I said, very happy with a very gutsy team performance today.
Well taken penalties, spent time practicing?
Yeah, we always do, so nice to see that the boys finish them off clinically.
Looking forward to the draw tomorrow, Clinton?
Oh, it's going to be an interesting one now, Pums, but I think we've done the hard work now getting into the draw. It's out of our hands now. We'll have to wait till tomorrow and see.
Thank you very much, Clinton.
Thanks, Pumlan.
Head coach of Bloemfontein Celtic, Clinton Larson, speaking about those changes that he made, particularly in the second half. They did make a difference. Roger Desire joins me now, head coach of Orlando Pirates. Coach Roger, thank you so much for your time. Your thoughts?
Well, obviously very disappointed after being 3-1 up, and felt that we had done enough. And I think we became too relaxed, too complacent, and a couple of silly mistakes, and not wrapping the game up. I think that's what cost us again. And you've got to say credit to them because they fought hard. They wanted it. They kept on fighting. When you compete that way, you usually get something, and hopefully we learned something.
You speak about silly mistakes. Those happened, in crucial areas where perhaps the most experienced players are operating.
Absolutely. I think it's not expected for us to do that, and silly errors, really. And look, the penalty was soft. There's no doubt about it. Was a bit of a home decision, but we got to expect that. And then after that, look, extra time and whatever. We knew it was going to be that way. We were expecting it, and we should have been a lot stronger. We should have had a lot more metal and wrapped the game up. And we had great opportunities to seal the game up at 4-1, even 5. But we didn't. Became too complacent, and now we got to learn from that.
How much did the injury to Roy Mahamudza affect your rhythm and your preparations, your plans?
No, Roy's injury is bad, obviously, but we managed to do pretty well. I thought Lucky was outstanding when he came on, so I don't think that affected us too much. I think Andile's injury near the end was a little bit more crucial to us because we had to play with Andile hopping along around the field. That was difficult, but apart from that, look, injuries are part of the game. They had injuries too, and I think we just could have wrapped it up, and I think we lost it. We lost the game today. I don't think, credit to them, they did win it, but we gave it away.
Thank you very much, Coach.
Pleasure.
Roger Sa, as frank, as honest as ever. He says Orlando Pirates gave it away, but he also says give credit to Bloemfontein Celtic. They really fought hard, battled till the bitter end, put the game and pushed it right through into the dreaded extra time, and then the penalty shootout. It's been fantastic, tremendous atmosphere. Even as I speak, the Bloemfontein Celtic fans, they're in good voice, shouting and singing on the top of their voices, celebrating a fine victory over Orlando Pirates. They now go into the head for the Telkom Knockout semi-final draw, which will be tomorrow. You can watch SuperSport Blitz. We'll give you all the updates regards the draw. Now you can hashtag Sipho Mlambo. It's hashtag SSDiski and start that conversation and communicate with Sipho Mlambo on Twitter as the Siwelele fans continue to celebrate. It's been really fantastic. It's been great. Telkom Knockout, one team, one winner, one Sipho Mlambo in our studios in Randburg. Let's go back to you, Sipho, with all the fine panelists. I am Phumlani Msibi. Bye-bye.